Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right. Here we go, y'all. Hoping it's the realest thing that you ever know. Hope you get the pretty girls as pretty and that can change the world. That one man can change the world. All I wanted was $100 million in a dreaming so hard some night it felt like draft day, you know. My step brother used to flip the bags outside the crib like it was trash day. No Kim K, buddy bag, yay, yay. But when you're getting fast, miss it. What you know about waking up every day like you on a mission? Say, I hope you learn to make it on dreams. And when you get it all, just remember one thing. Remember one thing. That one man can change the world. Back. We back for another one. Yo, peace to everybody, man. Yo, I'm so glad to be in the building. I wasn't live on Sunday. You know, I had an engagement such a way. This is my baby, so I baby her. Yo, and oh man, but everybody who's here with me, y'all know what it is. If you always are here with me in God Talk, you know what's about to happen. And for those who are new to God, there's no other space like it. But yo, we back for another beautiful one, yo. We back for it. Here we are, and the time is now. So we just waiting for the brother guys and the sister guys to be in this space that we've created for ourselves, yo. Yo, this is our days. It's the only type of talk I want to have these days, yo. For real, for real. But yo, we here, we now, yo. I appreciate everybody for being here with me. But before, allow me the space to set my intention for this live real quick. Yo, universe, it's me again. Universe, I ask you that you give me all the words that I need to convey the message that I bring you to bring me people who want to give me an understanding, give me something to eat from, something love and beauty and joy and abundance and wealth and health and life and magic and imagination and just existence and experience and just joy make you feel right. Welcome back to Godtalk, the only live stream on this piece of shit app that's going to bust down who you are to your molecular being and how that falls in complete synchronicity with the cosmos. I'm your host, Sirius, period, Big Dot, the King of Kings. Peace, 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 balance. How you doing?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, man?
Everything is everything, my beautiful brother. And you? How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, you believe in a creator? Is that it?
I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in anything.
Or you know there's a creator? Is that what you're going to say next?
I'm speaking to the creator right now. Hello, creator.
Woo!
What
Hell
will
yeah.
you create today?
You know there's actually something I can't create. You want to know what it is?
Whatever you say it is.
Yeah, matter can't be created or destroyed, can it? So
But
how
it
did
is
God
you.
create it? Explain that.
How did God create it?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything comes out of God.
That's circular reasoning.
That is circular reasoning. Are we living in a circular plane?
So you believe in
Aren't we
something
living
illogical?
in a excuse me. Aren't we living in a circular plane?
So you believe in something illogical? That's all I wanted to prove.
If you didn't prove anything, but have a
I
good
did.
night if that's what you no. But have a good night, King. Peace to you.
Yeah,
I love
you
you.
can't be created. That's what I said.
I know that's what you said. But then
Yeah, is
you
it a
try
fact?
excuse me. I will not argue with you, brother. This is not a debating space. This is a
We're
conversation.
not arguing. I just asked you a question.
Right. Well, in order for me to answer the question, you would have
You didn't
to
answer
allow
though.
me
You
to-
just said I'm not going to argue
in
with
order
you
for me
after
to
I asked
answer
you.
in order for me to answer any question, You would have to allow me the space to do that. Now, won't you?
No, I know,
Would
but
you?
when I asked you the question, you responded with, "I'm not going to argue with you," rather than answer the question.
Because you won't allow me the space to answer the question.
I did. I let you say that, and then I laughed and I said, "Why did you say that? Why didn't you just answer?"
Okay, I don't want to do that. Sometimes you just don't want to do something, and that was one of those things I did not want to do. Geoverse, peace, balance, love, and light, all those good
Love you.
vibrational words that make you feel. What's good, Geoverse?
Hey, synchronicity ain't a biggie. Just
Hey,
flow.
bro, it's been a few revolutions since we've talked, brother. How are you?
Listen, man, I've been going through it. Listen, well, I will say this: definitely been through a bit of a metamorphosis, but we'll talk about it. Now, let's shift the snake. A burglary is happening in my home. Someone wants to harm me and my family, and I'm forced to defend myself. Right? Who I'm about to approach in my eyes and my heart, and not what I believe, because what he asked you was the wrong question. The right question is what do you know? Right? I don't look at that thief or aggressor as God, and I could never do that. I would
Mm,
never give the title of God to someone that would wish harm upon me or my family. The word that comes
mm,
to mind is it rhymes with rebel, right?
mm.
So when
Which
you
is,
say
oh, go
the
ahead.
snake and the arm, same person, same personhood, same duality, sure. It's the one fish eating its own tail, right? But I will always see two fish. I will always see the light and the dark, the good and the evil, the up, down, the left and the right, and the
Mm.
inside and out. There will always be an opposing force, and that is the force that I will always be against while I glorify that light. Does that make
I,
sense?
under, I understand
So why do you see one person being the snake and the puppeteer?
because I choose not to see duality.
Hmm. If
Where
a
whereas
serial
you see
unaliver,
whereas you excuse me, whereas you
yeah.
see heads and tails, I just see one coin.
Mm. So the act of non-resistance.
I don't know if it's
I mean,
if
but the
you know.
reality is if you lift that coin, you raise your hand about 5 inches from the table, and you drop that coin, your reality is about to be in for a rude awakening. So it's just the precipice of a process that you choose to not be a part of.
I don't understand what you're saying to me.
Okay, I have a quarter, you have a quarter, right? Two rooms, two men, two quarters. You don't touch that
Okay.
quarter, it's heads. I flip my quarter, it's tails. We were both handed a quarter on heads. If I tell you, brother, tails is behind that heads, you don't have to believe me because you did not flip that quarter. So your objective reality in that time and space is indeed a one-sided quarter, but I flipped it for you. So
But
it's up to you.
I just told you that although you see heads and tails, I'm acknowledging that you see heads and tails. And also I'm acknowledging that on the very same coin that I am holding has a heads and tails. But instead of saying heads and tails, I'm just calling it a coin. You see what I mean?
You didn't see me up, but I just smacked my head.
It's all good, bro.
No, look, there's, I understand what you're saying, but I'd have to ask a clarifying question. Did they hand us congruent quarters?
You the one that came up with the scenario.
Yeah. So why are you shifting? You see, you're already going against the God particle of this equation.
I'm not going against it. I'm just saying you asked me about congruent quarters and I said you're the one that came up with the scenario. So if there are congruent quarters in there, you must acknowledge it because you came up with the scenario.
Yeah, so you had no control, you had no preparation for what I was about to hand you. So I guess you're confidently lying, and you're okay with it.
Oh, okay.
If I
If
were
you
to
feel
ask
that,
you,
if
if
you
I were to
feel
ask
that way,
but if I were to ask you, can you flip that quarter for me? Would you still deny tails if it's in your face?
I would not deny tails, nor would I deny heads. But what I'm saying to you is, it's still 25 cent.
Not a variable at play.
Hmm. Hmm. What
Not,
is it?
not nothing to be discussed about the amount of the quarter.
Well, isn't it? Isn't it
I
a
mean, I
variable
mean,
at play?
did I mention it could be a quarter of a pie?
Hey,
I mean, same
25 cent, 25%,
exactly.
whatever,
So that's a
whatever.
that's a non-factor. But the factor is that what I believe I'm witnessing here is not in a bad way, but an ideologue.
Oh, an
Correct.
ideologue. I like that word. Beautiful word.
Now let's
Okay,
remind
continue.
ourselves what that means, because I may be foreign to its meaning. I haven't used it in a while. But stubborn comes to mind.
Oh, stubborn. Okay.
Insanity, or is it
It,
perseverance?
mm. How do you want to view it? I'll allow you to view it however your beautiful mind wants to see it, because
I'm
that's the
just
art of you.
I'm just waiting for you to finish your painting so I can drink my glass of wine and leave.
My painting, my painting is that you're God. Whatever you want with that, whatever you want to do with that is up to you, brother.
I mean, at its most singular notion, you're hiding what's behind that tree on the other side. So just like that tails under the quarter on that table, that's what I see. Where's the other head? Where's the other face? I don't know if that's one person. So just like the tails that you refuse to acknowledge because you didn't flip
I
it.
never I never refuse to acknowledge anything. Once again, I said, although it is heads and tails, that's me acknowledging it. I said I still see one coin.
And I
I'm not
never
refusing
argued.
to acknowledge anything.
Right, but I never argued how many coins do you see. I never argued the amount, the currency, the value, the
Okay.
texture. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I feel like the first two guests just want to come up and, yeah, I'm lost in the analogy too. I got lost in that analogy too. But let's keep it going. Rancid Takes. Then after that, Glenn Mason. Oh, I'm excited to speak to Glenn. Yo, Rancid Takes. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. What's up, Rancid?
I'm good. How are you?
Everything is everything, sister. Do you know what I mean?
I hope so. I'm interpreting it my way. It's a good way though.
All right. Well, what would you like to talk about?
I think your premise is interesting. I also think that I believe it. I was curious to ask you a question since you sit and chat with folks. How how has your experience been trying to share your viewpoint, right? That we are all God. To look at this painting, I think I kind of got the analogy he was saying, right? If you want to look at the heads as the snake and the people, and you want to consider
Hmm.
the tails as the God figure, then what you're saying
Hmm.
is that you see this whole painting, right? It's all part of this one bigger picture,
Hmm.
and we're all connected. So that makes sense to me. But again, how is it talking to others about that?
How is it talking to others about it?
Yeah.
It's just as simple as breathing. Sometimes, sometimes if I run hard enough, long enough, my breathing may become labored.
And that's when you find a moment's rest.
Yes.
Dope.
You know, and I really just share what I have. And if no one wants it, that's fine. It's still there for them to take. But I'm still going to share it regardless of how anyone feels, or if they try to negate me, or try to say that I'm wrong, or I'm being dishonest, or I'm a liar, or I'm acting ideologically. I don't care about all that. I I I have something that's within me that I must share. It's not that I chose within myself to share it. No, it was just the path that was given to me to share these things.
Can I ask how you came about that path?
By observing myself within the path.
That's deep right there.
It's
Yeah.
not really that deep if you're a giant standing in a puddle.
Is that how you see yourself?
That's how we all should see ourselves.
A giant in a puddle. Oh no, the world would be so small that way. I feel like for me, I feel exceptionally tiny in this like massive organism that we call Earth. And it's
Oh
just
man. And
what?
that's because you look at yourself as being up separate from the earth, not
No, part of
realizing.
it.
Well, yeah. What if you and the earth are one organism? That means you're just as big as Earth.
Mm, I wouldn't say my finger is as big as my body, right? It's a part of my body.
Mm. So your finger is your body.
Yeah.
Because let your finger go hurting. You will use your body differently.
That's true. But that doesn't detract from its size. It's connected, right? But it still is just
Mm.
one finger on this bigger body system.
I know, but if we lose that connectivity, then what are we doing? How are we using our hands if we're not connected to them? How are we using the earth if we're not connected to it? How are we using the sun if we're not connected to it? What I'm speaking of is oneness in all of its entirety, not to be separate from anything, but all things are within you, not only within you, but outside of you as well, or what you would perceive to be outside of you.
A little as above, so below, as
So
within, so
with
without.
so within, so without, on earth as it is in heaven.
You make it sound so simple, but then the comments and people are like, absolutely not, no.
It is because it is that simple to accept the grandness or the fullness of the universe that you have in you naturally. It is just that simple to say that I am. There's nothing hard about it. The only thing hard about it is your ego getting in the way, stopping that.
Stopping us from seeing our true selves, our true power.
Absolutely.
I mean, the world is built to make you feel as small and powerless as possible, right?
No, no, no.
Well,
It's not.
humans are.
No.
Humans operate in that way. I don't think that we
Mm,
I think our current human race operates in that way.
mm. You think so?
I do. I don't think you can look at, well, I guess it depends on how you're looking at it, right? If you're looking at it from a top down approach, the powerful want to keep as many of us as powerless as possible. And that's kind of just where my mind naturally goes. Or, in fear and doubt, in really like,
But
in,
you know why that is though, sister.
are you going to remind me?
I would love to. Because we all get caught up within the body, forgetting that we're supposed to be learning what it is to be, not learning what it is to be without. We forget, we forget. And it's through beauty alone that we forget. Because isn't it nice that you haven't that you can forget a song, and then all of a sudden you turn on the radio and that song is on. Oh, you're like, oh my God, I haven't heard this song in years, in ages. And you sing along with it, you dance, and it's almost a euphoric feeling.
That's how I feel about
Because
apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
all right, terrible song by the way, but 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 it's all about the remembrance. Some people choose not to remember because some people get caught up in their laziness, their sloth. Because when you're not dealing with the true self, the true spirit of self, you're only dealing with the flesh and the world that compels the flesh.
It's a separate question for you. Flip side, right? I've embraced my power. I am God. But now I'm tipping into spiritual psychosis. I'm seeing things that aren't there. I'm losing the fabric of reality and the beyond, right? The veil is pierced. What would you say to somebody like that?
What would I say to somebody like that?
Yeah, seeking help, right?
I
Acknowledging
would I
you're
would
on.
say being grounded is key. This is why we do keep both feet on the ground. Being grounded is key. Although you can jump as high as you like, you still have to stay grounded. Especially if you're talking about being here in this space, and this is where you are now. Yeah. For example, uh, if I say I'm going to, uh, if I, hold on, I'm trying to come up with a good one. If okay, if I cut my face, I'm not going to bandage my hand, which goes to say I'm if I'm if I'm feeling a certain way about something, I'm not going to run away from that something. I'm going to go head on into it so it can bring me back to where I need to be. Now, you say you're having the spiritual psychosis. I mean, a lot of us do. I know for a while, within the beginning of my spirituality, I could not tell up from down, left from right. Mountains were no longer mountains. Trees were no longer trees. Water was no longer water. But as I got deeper into my spirituality, I saw that mountains were mountains and waters are waters, because they all come together to make this big cosmic existence of oneness. And that existence couldn't be without the mountain. That your existence couldn't be without the psychosis. This is just a walk for you.
I do want to
And
say I don't have psychosis. I stopped myself before I got that far. I saw it and I said, you know what? We're gonna take a step back.
oh, well, I was just following you, sister.
We're getting a little too. Honestly, for me, in my spiritual journey, is once I got to the aliens are real part, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a step back because like that's something I didn't feel like I could verify. Right? I think modern day spirituality is interesting, and I'll say new age. I know it's not like the best, but it is the most accessible for a lot of people.
You think what I'm talking about is modern day spirituality?
No, you're going more into like esoteric principles, into like what it means to be a human being. Um, I actually don't. I don't know too much about your spiritual beliefs to say whether it does or doesn't. But the principle that we are all God, I think, is something steeped in ancient religions and beliefs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, is there anything else you would like to talk about, sister?
Let's see. I guess I just need to keep my feet on the grass and continue on this path. And when the mountains stop looking like mountains, eventually start to see them as mountains again, and all will be
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
All right. Okay.
Peace
Um,
to you.
yeah, yeah. Actually, one last question.
What's up, sis?
What do you think about aliens?
That's my cousin. I don't see them as aliens. You see, in order for me to see them as aliens, I must see this world as being separate from the rest of the universe. And aliens would have to be something outside of this universe. When I see the whole entire, I don't, I see this whole entire universe as being one space, and there's nothing alien to it because everything comes out of this space. So it's not so much as being aliens. These are just different beings operating at different frequencies, but still very much are a form of me. You know, there are animals right now on Earth that you've never seen before, and they may look alien as hell to you, but they're still sharing the same moon, sharing the same sun, sharing the same water. There's nothing alien about that. Only how we view it makes it alien.
That was the longest yes I've ever heard. Just being funny though.
You said that was the longest BS you've ever heard?
Longest yes I ever heard.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. But I mean, I like to go into a little bit of, just a little bit.
Not
Sometimes you gotta sprinkle a little bit of sprinkles on it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, thank you for indulging me. I hope you have a great rest of your day and stay warm.
Peace to you. Yo, that was Rancid Takes. Let's get the next beautiful person up here. And I see the comments. Oh, you have no power. You don't know what power is. Um, Glenn Mason. Isabella, I see you, sister. You next up. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. Yo, Glenn, what's up, brother? Welcome
Hey,
back.
not much. Hey, I'm maintaining.
That's a beautiful thing, brother, to maintain.
Just kicking back. I, I heard everybody was discussing the picture that you got posted up there. Hey,
Right.
all I can see in that picture is, you know, you got the strings hanging down to the people. That's a reverse of what's actually going on. In everybody's reality. It's the people that has uh put the arm on that side and the dude hiding behind the tree that nobody can see. That's the lie that's been perpetrated, however you
Perpetrated.
say that word.
Perpetrated. You're fine.
Yeah,
We
perpetuated.
know. Oh,
That
perpetuated. Yeah. Well, we know what you
yeah,
meant.
yeah. I mean, we all got lied to. And it was all by a social system of control to hide the real us that is within us, so that a person couldn't look within himself. He always had to be looking outward. And then you had the liars and the fakers that pretended like there was something there when it really ain't. It's in you. You are. And
Uh-huh.
that I came into my I am moment whenever I realized I could control my thoughts. And my thoughts is what's controlling my body. And it's controlling my emotions and my feelings, my actions. And when I can change, well then that when I say I can change my thoughts. My thoughts can't change nothing. I'm in control of my thoughts. So I am, and I know when you say to someone out in the world, especially the religious world, and when you say I am God, well, I've never known anything above me being able to control my thoughts except for me. And that's what God is. And but they paint this picture just like you got painted of the big guy in the sky and that nobody ever gets to see. And all it is it's like uh, I'm not a I believe in the book, but I don't believe in the book the way that everybody else is being taught the book. The book's telling the truth. It's just how it's being perceived and how it's being taught. That is the wrongness in it. It's too literal in a physical sense in this realm that we live in. It's brought down into a literal, and they pulled it down for the very fact of controlling humanity. That's just my thought of it. And as far as the aliens go, well, I mean, I ain't met one yet, so I have no opinion on that. I mean, aliens are. Hey, we're listening to the same people that have controlled the words of other people's awakening to the fact of reality, which is that we are. Those are the same people that are talking about aliens that we don't never see. So, I mean, you can take my word as a grain of salt on that idea. But if I meet one, I mean, if he has a mind like I do and he has to control his thought, then he's exactly the same as I am, and I'm going to tell him the same thing.
Absolutely. I think that's beautiful, Glenn.
That's just the word of the night from a redneck.
Well, I appreciate those beautiful words, brother. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, man. I just wish everybody could see that it was if the people at the end of the string they are controlling the whole arm and the little snake on the other side. There is no other
Hey, Glenn, you're muffled, brother. You're muffled.
We are.
You're muffled, Glenn.
We are that made that right there. That picture. We made that picture. I mean, and it goes against any and every religion, any any kind of system based group that is formed in the realm that we live in, and they have no power whatsoever over you if you realize that you are. And then you can just, and the first step is getting over the fear. And then when you realize what the book says, I mean, you fear not. And it says that more times than it does anything else, I think, in the whole book. Fear not, for I am God. And let no man deceive you. And I mean, how much further, I mean, how much more did these people have to say to get?
Glenn,
Go
I
ahead.
think, and I'm sorry. My apologies for cutting you off, brother. Excuse me. Excuse me. How rude am I, right? But I feel, for me, and this is just me talking, but the Bible is nothing more than a book to activate the pineal gland. But if you're not reading it, and if you're allowing other people to read it for you, if you're not interjecting yourself all the way in it as to make every character you, as to make every character you, you're not going to get that activation.
Exactly. You're exactly right. That's spot on. Because you read the book and don't frivolously just read through the book. Read the book and remember the book. And then reject all religions and live you. Be you. You take control of, and I call it a warehouse. Our bodies are warehouses. I mean, we have feelings, we have emotions, we have all kinds of things. Those are little employees that's working for us. Our mind, our mind, our thoughts are like these supervisors over the warehouse. So if our body's not acting right, it's up to the supervisor, the manager of the warehouse. See, I'm just the owner of the warehouse. I'm aside from that. But if my warehouse is not doing right, well, then I have to go straight to the main men. I don't go out there on the floor and go to my feelings and tell my feelings what they're doing wrong. And no, I go to my thoughts. My thoughts are the boss over my emotions and my feelings. So I go to my thoughts and I tell them, look, you're not doing this right because the warehouse is not operating at 100. So you're going to have to change the way you are running this. And that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at my body. I look at my mind that way. My mind is not me. I am me, and I'm in control of my mind. I mean, look,
Addressing
if you could
addressing your
be a
feeling.
certain way, if you could be a certain way, and then you're like, oh well, I changed. Well, what changed you? You changed your mind. So if you can change your mind, then you are more powerful than your thoughts. That makes you over your thoughts. Now, what is over you? I haven't seen anything yet. I haven't seen anything that changed me. The only thing that affects me is me sitting back and letting my thoughts run my feelings and emotions and my actions. That
Right.
affects me.
And you and the view of the world that you live in.
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
fact that everybody is living their life according to what they think someone else thinks of them. And you're letting somebody else, some other entity, control you. And no, you got to let all that go and you just got to be you and realize that you're the boss. And at the end of the day, it's only going to be you. I mean, you're not
Absolutely.
going to take your friends and your wife and your kids and your coworkers. When you take your last breath, it's only just going to be you. You better get comfortable with being you.
Facts. Yo,
But
Glenn,
that's
I
just my
appreciate you
opinion.
so much.
I mean, everybody can
Thank
take that with a grain of salt because I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. But
you just chatting, huh?
I live just that way,
Hey,
just
Glenn,
that
that's
way.
beautiful, brother. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing with us,
Appreciate you,
brother.
man.
I love you, brother.
All right, appreciate it.
All right. Yo, that was our beautiful brother God, Glenn. Yo, let's keep it going. Isabella, then after that, we got the land of culture. Then after that, Metal Daddy Bob. Oh, Brown Sugar want to come holler at me. Oh shit, Brown Sugar, you gotta wait around, sis. You know how we do it over here. Isabella, peace, balance, love, and light. Yo, what's up, sis? How you doing?
I'm good. For some reason, while I was waiting to talk to you, my heart has been racing so fast. Like I can feel it in my throat. And I
Oh
don't,
shit.
yeah, I think I just have so many questions
Well, let's
And
breathe. Let's breathe first. You
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah,
breathe
yeah.
real
I
quick?
feel okay. Like I don't feel like in a bad mood or anything. Like I'm not nervous. I think I'm just so excited that my body is freaking out.
That's why I say, well, let's just breathe.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm
You know,
drinking some water.
let's get it. Yeah, go ahead, get your water.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just gotta take a deep breath in, hold it for 3 seconds, and then let it
I'm
go.
good. Okay.
All right. All right. Go ahead, sis.
Okay. So I was wondering about your perspective of your unconscious mind. Is anything unconscious for you at this point?
I don't I don't like to describe it as unconscious.
I knew you would say
I,
that.
I like to describe it as either conscious or super conscious.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm writing it down. Hang on. Conscious or super conscious? Okay,
Yeah.
and then can you elaborate?
Well, we call it unconscious mind. Oh, my unconscious mind told me this, but how was it unconscious? If it was telling you something, that means it had to be conscious. And not only that it had to be conscious, because it's telling you something that you didn't see before. So it had to be a stronger form of consciousness that you experience on the regular, making it super conscious.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know?
think, yeah, I think people who, well, the reason I ask is because one of my close friends just experienced a panic attack, and he was saying how it was out of his control, and so he was, I think he was saying it was like it happened unconsciously. What would you say to that?
He needs to deal with himself in a better pace.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought it's just don't push yourself so hard, maybe.
hmm People are too hard on themselves. And not only are they too hard on themselves, they don't know themselves and know the capacity or the capability of said self. So, with that being the case, we can get caught up in our lacking. You know, I got this. I got this cousin of mine, and when we were kids, every time he gets angry, he'd always go break something. And it wasn't until we got older and I asked him, I said, bro, why did you always go break stuff when you got mad? And he's like, oh, because it made me feel like I can control something.
Mm, mm,
Sometimes losing control
mm-hmm.
is the only control people have.
Yes, I feel that. I
But
understand that.
losing but losing control means that you've just lost control of your mind, your emotions, and your body. And this is
Mm-hmm.
why I say we should all have better pacing of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Thank you. And then my other thing I wrote down was, let's see. Okay, this is kind of a simple one. I feel like I feel like I know the answer for me, but it's still kind of ruminating in my mind and I don't like that it is. So I wanted you to bring clarity to it. Have you heard, Billy Carson?
I've heard of them.
So I don't know him that well. I haven't listened to him that much.
Me neither. Me
Yeah,
neither.
yeah. But I think he said something about how it actually means like be less. And so it's
Uh,
not good when you say
that's
less.
that's wordplay.
Okay,
Be
thank you.
less.
Yeah, he's
I
reading too deeply, right?
no, he's reading too shallow,
Shallow. Okay.
if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because if we actually get down to the etymology of the word bless, it means to sacrifice or consecrate with blood. This
Oh.
is what bless means. It doesn't mean to be less,
Yeah. I
you
love
know.
that you knew that's awesome that you knew the actual meaning of it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Because every word we use has a capacity. And if we don't understand the word we're using or understand the capacity of it, then we are creating a destiny for ourselves that we are unaware or conscious of.
very true. I've been trying to be more conscientious of the words I use. I know that I use the word weird too much, and it's probably causing me to have a weirder experience on Earth. But
Weird. There's nothing wrong
um,
with weird, though. You know that, right?
really? Okay,
No,
good, because I use that word all the time.
because weird. When you call someone weird, and
Mhm.
weird just means that they have their own way of looking at things. You know,
Uh-huh.
they take control of their destiny.
Yeah, I
You
like
know,
that.
there's nothing wrong with being weird.
Yeah, I get called weird all the time, and I take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so then my other thing I wrote down, let's see. Oh, what is the purpose of our ego? Do you know? I feel like it's we get to choose, but
Mhm.
what is it for you, I guess?
The purpose of the ego is the same purpose that you have hands.
Okay.
Just
So
so
to create?
just so you no, not to create, but to feel.
Oh.
The ego is where emotions come from. It's where those heartaches come from. It's where those disappointments come from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this and there's nothing wrong with feeling heartache. There's nothing wrong with feeling that. But all this is where it all springs from is the ego. And it's not to discount the ego. The ego is a very necessary thing when we're talking about what we're doing here on this plane of existence. You know what I mean?
Say that last part again. It's what we're doing here on this plane.
Yes, the ego is what we're doing here on this plane of existence.
I see. So on any other plane, do we not have one?
I on every other plane we have one because you
Oh,
can't have here without there.
okay. So it stays with us?
Absolutely. You will always be you.
I thought I was gonna die. I thought Isabella was gonna die, and then it was just gonna be my wisdom and love that carried on. I didn't think my experience here, like the heartache and the heartbreak would carry on with me.
Uh, Sis,
Hmm.
the heartache that you had in your past life carried on with you into this life so that you no longer have to experience that type of heartache because you've
Oh,
already learned the lessons of it.
I've heard that. That's what they say, like past karma or something, I guess. I've heard that.
I mean,
I don't,
people like to put words on it, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, but you explain it so much better. Okay, so I put I put stars next to all my questions. I was like taking notes while writing questions, and so my journal is insane right now. Um, Let me see. I only have a few, like one or two left for you. Oh, will spirit ever tell you to choose between family or it?
Spirit will never tell you to choose between family or itself because spirit realizes that spirit is family.
See,
this is
that's how I feel. That's how I
this is
feel.
this is why spirit will always speak life into it.
Mhm.
But but let's just say Isabella had a side of herself that liked to steal. Not to say that you do, but let's say that Isabella had a side of herself where she likes to steal. Rather than rather than casting that side down or making yourself feel bad, oh, I'm a kleptomaniac. Rather than doing that, you coddle it and you cradle it like, why am I doing this? Why am I This is what spirit does to family. When spirit sees family living out in lowliness, We speak life. Spirit speaks life. Spirit speaks breath. It can't speak anything else.
Mm. Okay. Cool. I've never heard it described that way. Well, maybe I have, but you reminded me.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah, thank you. And then how do you know what okay, so I guess I'm getting a little bit confused because I really do need to read the Bible for myself instead of take excerpts out of it that I've heard and try to make sense out of, passages. Like, you have to take it into context, right?
Yeah.
But there are two passages that I wanted to ask you about. One of them has to do with what I just asked, which is I just went to church with my twin brother last Sunday. He wants to start finding a church for his family. And anyways, long story short, the verse that the church was talking about was the one where in Luke 15:24, I think it was about, if you're going to be a disciple of Jesus, you have to leave behind everything, like your family, everything, to be a disciple of Christ. And that's why I asked you, does Spirit ever tell you to choose between those two things?
Well, we have to realize why Jesus was saying this.
Right.
Because when a prophet can't stay home and be a prophet. A prophet has to go out into the world. And a lot of times, a prophet won't be viewed as a prophet by their friends and their family.
Mm-hmm. How do you
So
know
we
if
can't
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No,
you
you
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. Well, well, and it's just as simple as that. It's like let's say that the whole world views you as being this grand, fantastic person, but your twin brother knows you as sis. Like, you talking about this motherfucker? Oh, we used to fight over toys together. like
Yeah.
like because they your family will see you
Mhm.
as what they've built you up as in their mind.
Mhm.
But when you show yourself to the world, the world will take you for exactly what you're showing it as. But your family, they already have a preconceived notion of what you are. So yes, sometimes you have to leave your family behind. Not to say you love them any less, but it's just to say sometimes we have to go out into the world.
If you might, do you know any prophets? Because there's another verse in the Bible that says there are no false prophet. I don't know. The Bible talks about prophets also, but what is your understanding of prophets?
A prophet A prophet is anyone that could look up in the sky and say it's about to rain.
Okay, so like somebody who can see into the future.
Not someone who is observant. It's not
Oh.
necessarily seeing into the future. It's just being observant.
That's all of us.
It's every one of us, because every
Yeah.
one of us is a prophet.
Yeah. So
But if you're
okay.
not observant of it, then how,
Yeah. Okay, I love that. And then my last thing. Do I have one more? Where is it? Oh, it was the last time I talked to you, I was stressed out about the equally yoked thing. I don't know if you remember the passage that talks about how you have to be equally yoked to marry someone. Um so and I know I don't need to be stressed. I know that I'll know everything that I need to know when it's time to know it. But my ego, I think, you know, it's trying to mess with me, and which is annoying. And I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, I'm very empathetic and I feel like I can be equal with everyone. And so I guess it's hard for me to understand what that passage means. Do you know what it means to you?
what to be equally yoked.
Yeah, because I know it's talking about like two mules that are like put together or something. And
Yeah.
but like I can be equal. I can make myself equal to anyone. I see everyone as my equal. And so it's like, how am I supposed to know if, if I'm supposed to marry someone that's you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well, I mean, you would know because they would feel the same thing about you. That's equally yoked.
I've had I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound, I don't know how this is going to sound, but like I can make anyone think that we're equally yoked. And I feel like that sounds bad. But
No, I mean, it's not bad though. It's not bad.
yeah.
That's just you connecting to all things. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
I can connect with all things. So it's like I guess I'm overwhelmed because there's so many people in this world.
Mhm.
And I think I want to have a family. Either that or I just want to live in heaven for the rest of my life. Oh, that was another thing is if I choose someone, sorry, if I choose someone who's a non-believer, as they call it, like somebody who claims to be atheist, will that hinder my my ability to know? Do you think? I know you don't think. Do you know?
Sis, we had this conversation before.
I know, but I'm
And
like,
remember I told you, we
to
don't
not have any expectations,
yes. You have to let a flower be a flower.
be a flower.
Yes. And even the most poisonous flowers in the world can still have medicines made from them.
Well, I know. And that's why I think I'm just worried that I'm going to settle with the wrong flower. But I hate that term settling.
Well,
I've just
sis,
seen so much
if it's
divorce.
if
You know what I'm
it,
saying?
it sounds like you're searching for a sign to stay or to go. And sis, if you're looking for a sign,
Uh-huh.
then that's your sign. I'm just
Um,
saying. I'm
yeah,
just saying.
I've heard that. I've heard that before. Um, I guess it's more of like, okay, I don't know if this is going to sound foolish, but I've seen, like I've seen things that are beautiful, and I want to keep seeing things that are beautiful, and I don't know, can the people that I surround myself with, can that hinder me from seeing, or is it just all within me and I can always have access to that no matter who I'm around?
Yes. No matter who you're around.
Really?
This is why I told you with your atheistic boyfriend. Let a flower be a flower.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
When I see a rose, I don't make it out to be anything else but a rose. I don't expect it to do anything. Even when I
Oh,
even when I go to smell that rose, I smell it like it's the first time I've ever smelled one.
yeah, I can do that. Yeah. And I think what makes me like talking to a flower so much is that it stops my ego from trying to feel good about being a rose because I know that we're all roses. And so it's am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
and so but I don't know. Oh, I appreciate you answering all my questions.
I love you, sister. Thank you so much.
You have a good one.
And real quick, Isabella, I appreciate you for coming up and always bringing beautiful energy and beautiful love and a will to hear and listen. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you. You're amazing and your family is very blessed to have you in it. And I hope you
No, what no sacrifice, what no consecration of blood. It's all it's 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 all just spirit and life itself, sis.
Okay, so I shouldn't use that word that you told me the word
Well,
was a good word.
you can use it if you want to. I just don't like for people to describe blessed as me because I don't use the word blessed ever.
I don't like it. Like it gives me weird vibes too. But I was trying to change the vibe. Like I thought I was gonna try to make it a different vibe, but if it means sacrifice with blood.
A consecrate with blood, a sacrifice to consecrate with blood. Every, I like to say favored, actually.
Favored. Okay.
Yeah.
How would you use it in the like your family is favored?
Favored. Yes.
Yeah.
Favorably. We're favored. You know?
All right. Peace be with you.
Peace to you, my beautiful sister. Till next time, right?
Uh-huh. See ya.
All right. Yo, that was our beautiful sister God. Is a beautiful sister God. Isabella. Beautiful sister God. Let's keep it going. We got land of culture. Then after that, Metal Daddy Bob. Then after that, my beautiful sister Brown Sugar. I hope she hangs around. I can't wait to talk to her. Anyway, peace, balance, love, and light. All those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, land of culture. Oh shit, he's spinning. Fibonacci sequence going crazy. Oh, my beautiful sister Mika in the building. Peace to you, my beautiful sister. Yo, y'all gotta tap in with my beautiful sister Mika. Well, that's that. Hey, land of culture. I'm sorry, brother, but you were spinning too long, bro. That universe is still forming over there, so let me allow that space for that to happen. Go get that Wi-Fi hooked up right. Yo, Metal Daddy Bob. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. Yo, what's good with you, Metal Daddy?
Love and light, man. I was just like listening and like on the whole anger tip, like you were talking about someone like going and breaking things, right? Because I was dealing with that a lot, and I discovered like, after doing the research, all anger is undirected energy. That's
Yeah,
it. Simple and plain. So I used to feel bad because I'd be like, God, I don't want to like break stuff. But then, I talked to someone and they were like, yo, if you're not hurting anybody and you just need somewhere for that energy to go toss that rock, bro. you know?
yeah. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with him breaking. He was breaking his own shit. How am I going to complain about
Oh, God. Well, that's a little
that?
different.
No, he was breaking his own shit. So I'm not. It's not like I'm gonna get mad at it. It's
Yeah.
his own shit.
Yeah.
But but it's like what you said. If you got it in you, go throw it. I'd rather you do that than go hurt someone.
Right, right. And what was she was talking, the previous sister that was just on. I kept hearing this one thing, right? And some of our youth get it mixed up, right? Some are mixing up what's called the ego with the cardinal mind. You see what I'm saying? They
Ooh,
got the ego and the carnal mind mixed up, bro.
yes, and they don't realize that the ego and the carnal mind operate off of two different things.
Right, right.
They operate off of two different
Exactly.
things. Uh,
Exactly.
well,
That
go
picture
ahead.
behind on there though, I think the snake was perspective. It has to be, right? Because like I see on TikTok, and I got all these brothers and sisters arguing now. Like we got sisters saying that it wasn't Jesus nailed to the cross; it was woman that was nailed to the cross, and all this other stuff. But like I got this thing I do on my page, bro, where I try to show people it's both, right? What is it, God? They're saying God's a woman now. It's both. It's got to be. It's just got to be, dude. Spirit and soul has always been a package deal, blue and red.
Yeah, yeah. It always been a package deal, bro. Because blue and
Yeah,
red make purple, right?
yeah, exactly.
Isn't purple one of the highest vibrational colors we got?
That's your
Let me not, let
crown
me
chakra,
let
bro.
me let me stop talking. Let us stop talking. I think we giving up too much juice.
I just want to come on here because I enjoyed our conversation last time. I just want to call saying I love you, man. I'll let the next one go.
I love you too, brother. Peace to you,
All right,
brother. Hey, don't be gone for so long. Come back and holler at me, bro.
all right, we'll do.
Peace to you. Yeah, that was our beautiful brother God, Metal Daddy Bob. Oh, we got our beautiful sister coming up next. Yo, Brown Sugar, Brown Sugar, bang. Yeah,
Hey, Cyrus,
no.
how are you?
Peace to you, sister. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Can you guys see the timing was so off, man? Just 2 seconds, 2 seconds.
Oh, it was off. Oh shit. Hold on.
Yeah, I just wanted to come up and just tell you how much I actually admire your panel and what you do here. Like, I don't have any questions or anything. I just wanted to also and tell you something that I discovered last night in regards to the Freddy Krueger movie. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
Absolutely. Freddy Krueger is hilarious.
Yes, and last night I discovered how it parallels to that's going on with if you think about his superpowers and you think about his weaknesses
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the
Mm-hmm.
four claws on his hand
Mm-hmm.
and Elm
Mm-hmm.
Street, it all correlates into everything that's going on right now
Oh
with us.
man. But that's not just Freddy Krueger. Sis, it's anything that you can pick. Fucking Squid Games.
I heard that too. I heard that too.
It doesn't matter what movie or what book you read. Harry Potter. It's all correlating back to you and your divine power within self to be grand and great, and also defeat the clutches of death and division.
Yes, when you understand who the enemy is.
Absolutely.
And I think that for people is the biggest problem is because of the illusion, the smoke screen. People get caught up in everything that they've been taught, and nobody actually think for themselves. It, we're from the time that we're born, infants, toddlers, adolescents. We're not actually learning anything. We're remembering what we've been taught. So once you start using your consciousness and thinking for yourself, that's when you awaken.
Absolutely. And stop being so spiritually lazy,
Right.
mentally slothful, like we can't.
I was trying
It's
to
too.
use a better
Go ahead.
choice of words.
Hey, I know I like to go straight forward, sis, because it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. And just because it stick to the wall, don't make it paint.
Exactly. And that's what people say. I learned this, and you didn't learn anything, you were taught. And all of your recollections is from things that you were taught. So if you let go of the ideal of what everyone taught you, it was taught to you for a purpose, to make you forget. It was taught to you to push you further away from source.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And and what I'm talking about tonight, and every night you catch me on here, you don't even have to catch me on here. You can catch me out in the street. And this is what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Me too.
Trying to bring everybody back to the oneness of it all.
Look, I was looking at that Freedom song with the rap with Queen Latifah, Left Eye, and everything. And
Oh,
I was
word.
thinking, how do we get from there to here in 28 years? That's a
Oh my
complete
goodness.
difference. And you know what? I had to look at, I understand now why Left Eye was in the car crash. And you'd be surprised to know that song came out in 1995. In 1996, the first cell phone was invented, the Motorola, because the TV wasn't getting the job done quick enough. So,
But sis, I want you to go a little deeper though, sis.
okay.
I want you to understand why the Titanic was sunk.
I love the Titanic. You know what? Thank you for putting that in my head because I love the Titanic. I'm a Titanic girl, and I got to go back and rewatch it now.
But sis, I want you to understand why Hitler was mad. You
Ah,
know, I want you to understand why Fidel Castro was mad.
okay.
Want you, and I want you to understand where where who the Almoravids are, the present day Moors are. See, we're not just talking about one little situation. We're talking about all of existence that's been hidden from us, and hidden from us in such a way that we can see it, but we don't quite understand it. Like, right, I mentioned the Titanic, right? So I'm going to go into that a little bit. There were when the Titanic was coming across the Atlantic, and the United States was still a fairly new country, and we were getting ready to implement a banking system, a federalized banking system that was all around the world. And there were a couple of millionaires on the Titanic. It was Benjamin Guggenheim, John Jacob Astor, and Isidore Straus. All three of these men opposed the federalized banking system, the same banking system that you are underneath today. Another person who opposed the federalized banking system, John F. Kennedy.
Yes, that's what I that's tied. He's tied into that Freddy Krueger analogy I gave you.
Because it all goes together. This is all one picture.
Oh,
But
okay.
but we have to be able to zoom out. Zoom out.
I got you. I got you. I got you. It just be coming to my brain, and so as I'm thinking, I'm just like going from here to there and absorb. Like it's just coming to me when you say stuff. Like
Right.
when people talking to me, all of a sudden I can recollect stuff, and my brain automatically tell me where to go, and I'm like, okay, I'm putting it together. Like it's come, the thoughts are just appearing in my head.
Right. And it but I want you to be painted in your head. Fuck all this other shit. Fuck all that. The federal, fuck your John F. K, your JFKs and your rich billionaires and million. That's it. I don't care if you got anything else rolling around in there.
Oh, I got that. That's locked in.
I just want you to have that. Anything else you want, sis? Anything else you want to talk
No,
about?
I was just coming up to say I appreciate you.
I
Appreciate
appreciate you
that.
too, sis.
Have a good night.
You too. Peace to you. Yo, that's our beautiful sister God, Brown Sugar Babe. When we're talking about this world, there's only one eye you can you can use to see it properly. There's only one eye you can use to see this world properly. And if you're not looking with that one eye, then you ain't seeing an eye. Then you ain't seeing shit. I'm just being real with you. I love you. Don't get me wrong. But you ain't seen shit. And it's okay. I will continue to feed you milk because you're not ready for meat. This whole world has been designed by you to take you away from you, just to get you excited about finding you again. Yeah, you may sit around and have those people who will blame it on the elites and blame it on the top 1%. But that top 1% is only the top 1% because the rest of the 99% agreed to it. So that means that top 1% couldn't be that top 1% unless you said that they were that top 1%. So that top 1% only exists because of your perspective of their percentage. I don't know if y'all caught that. I don't know if y'all caught that. But I want you to know, if y'all don't take nothing else from my live tonight, is that you are divine. You are grand. You are great. And if you choose right here, right now, in this moment, that you will change the world, that you will speak life into the world, that you will further the kingdom, so shall it be done. Because you are that powerful. You are that powerful. Hold on. Elon Musk, that's just a man. He eats food. Y'all know Elon Musk eats food, right? At night, he gets a pillow and he cuddles up the no, mommy, I don't like. Donald Trump, these people are only powerful because they chose to accept that power within them, to be a face on the globe. We all have the capacity to do that. We all have the capability to do that. No, there is no top 1%. It's either 100% or nothing at all. Mhm. It's either 100% or nothing at all. Which goes to say, can't nobody control me. It just so happens that I live through spirit. Hold on, John Graves yelled something. We don't know how to not pass. He wanted to yell that, all caps. All caps. Good going, John Graves, with the all caps. I know, right? You're already controlled. Yeah, facts. We all passed. Like past what? What did we pass? We all passed? Like future, present, past? Like what do you mean? I don't I'm trying to stop. He keeps doing it, Brooke. It's not me, it's him. Well, I guess it's me because I got the live going. All right, I take responsibility. Ignoring my comments because I'm speaking facts. I'm not ignoring your comments. I just haven't seen your comments. Let me scroll back up so I'll see your comments, bro. I dare not ignore little fat Pat. Let me scroll back up and see if I can see little fat Pats. Understanding society in some different you getting it wrong. How is that speaking facts? Oh, let me scroll back up. Maybe you said something different because, okay, you said cap right there. All right. Where else? You're not really saying, okay, wait until you get a near-death experience. You'll do. Oh my goodness. You haven't said anything, brother. You talking about, did I ignore you? You haven't said anything. I have a question for the comments. I have a question for the questions to ponder. He hasn't said a damn thing. Again, wait until that experience, brother. I've had, for one thing, let me say this to you. My whole entire life is a near-death experience because I know at any moment I could expire out of this body. I've had those near-death experiences that you were talking of, but I didn't see them as near death experiences. Now, I don't know, let me change that. I don't see them as near death experiences now because those experiences brought me closer to life. Now, the way you're describing these quote unquote near death experiences, yes, I've had them several ways. I'm a young black man growing up in the United States of America. You don't think I've had near death experiences? Growing up in the 90s, no less. Watch how you talk to God if you don't know God. Telling me about you haven't had anything. You don't know what I've had. You don't know where I've come from. It's a reason why I didn't see your comments. I wasn't ignoring them. I just didn't see them. But I see why I didn't see them. Give him hell, Sirius. I know. I'm trying to give them life. They only take hell. Clearly, I can Clearly, I can by the way you speak, brother. I don't know what that means. Clearly, I can by the nah. You don't know. Serious, what happens if Trump bans TikTok? How will I get to you? Oh, that's a great question, actually. Yo, YouTube. I will be on YouTube as soon as they shut this funky motherfucker down. I will be over on YouTube. And it's Serious Guy Talk on YouTube. Y'all connect with the count over there. And we're going to do production value. It's going to be grand. I got the whole thing set up. I've been ordering equipment and all this crazy shit, sound shit and all that. We're going to get it lit. We're going to get it lit. You know, it's time that I actually start putting a little bit more into this. Regardless regardless of who tells me I'm wrong, it's still time for me to put more into this. Yo, somebody want to come up and holla at me. Experiencing life, peace, balance, love, and life. Yo, what's good experiencing?
Everything is good.
Absolutely. What would you like to talk about, sis?
Nothing in particular. I came in not too long ago and I jumped into the comments and I think I did so impulsively because what was he saying that near death experience was necessary for? I'm talking about I'm talking about a commenter that I shouldn't.
No, he says I haven't had a near death experience, so I don't know what and until I have that near death experience, I won't understand. That's what he was saying to me.
And I said that. I said my response to that in a comment, or I'm responding to that because why is a near-death experience necessary for anything? Not everyone who's living will have a near-death experience. I've had some, and as you've spoken, you've had some, but it's not a necessary experience in order to understand if he's talking about being God or knowing God. Being your God self is, and as soon as you're open to it, as soon as we are open to remember who we are, it comes when when we are ready to receive it, and it doesn't require a near-death experience. If that was the case, then a lot of people would go without ever remembering their God self, because not everyone have that experience until they die. You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean because it's not about
Be what you already are. Nothing is necessary for you to. Well, there are steps that I or every individual living have to take in order to remember themselves. The first thing is you have to get out of denial. If I'm denying that I am me, I will never remember myself. If I'm denying what I am, how can I ever self-actualize? If everything in my face is telling me I am more than just a human, but I'm in denial of it because everything that I've learned from other humans tell me to be in denial of it, or I'm too afraid to accept it because it's too grandiose or it scares me, then I will never be that and I will never live as that. The issue with that is until that happens, I will continue to recycle in this state of being, meaning that it is necessary. It is necessary. It is, I'm repeating it because it's so important. Every being living on this planet has to remember their God self because that is the purpose. You are here, we are here to experience life as our God self. And until we remember that, there will be lessons that keep pushing us towards that. All of the things we're experiencing, difficulties, all these traumas, some of them necessary, some of them unnecessary, some of them we bring onto ourselves, are bringing us closer to remembering our God selves. Until we accept that we are God's, everything in life is going to be pushing you towards that. We know this, don't we not?
Yeah.
Everything until we remember. Everything. You can deny and deny and deny. You can't deny what you are. You are what you are. If you deny it or not. It's like me saying there is no God. Well, me saying there is no God doesn't mean that there is no God. It just means I said it. It doesn't make it a fact. And me saying I'm not God, it just means I'm denying what I am. I know I said a lot there. I hope it made sense.
No, I get what you're saying. You see what you see, and you are what you eat.
That part. It's a
I just
conundrum, but it is. I say this all the time. It is what it is. And whether you deny it or not, it still is what it is. You can deny it until you're blue. You can say the sky is green. It's going to remain blue. It is what it is. And I just hope for his sake. And when I tell people, like, okay, so I don't know, I was skipping to the app because I was bored, and I jumped onto a live, and there was this people because I was just curious. I know I rarely do it, but I did it. And this guy was like, well, they were trying to, the topic of the live was you have to convince them that God exists. And to be honest, I wasn't doing a good job because how do I convince you that God exists? How do I
I would.
convince you?
You know what I would have did if I would have felt compelled to go up on that panel.
Uh-huh.
I would have just got on the mic and just started laughing
I should have done that. I should have done
because
that.
what proof are you looking for?
That
And
was my
if you're
point. Exact. Go
if
ahead.
you're
Thank you.
if you're looking for proof, that means you're looking for proof of yourself.
Thank. Oh, you see what I
And
mean? Mm, mm,
so
mm, mm.
and if you're looking for proof of yourself,
I didn't see. I should have laughed. That's exactly how I felt.
what is this? A joke? Are we joking?
Oh my gosh. You see, you get we you're I'm speechless because you get it. You get it so much. That's the point that I was trying to make to them. Like, why do I have to convince you? You need to convince yourself. And then he cut me off because he said, convince me. And I said, they said, because it was two of them. And I said, I'm not going to convince you. I said, that's the difference between me and everyone else that came on here. I'm not going to convince you because I don't need to convince you. The issue is you need to convince yourself because you not knowing is not a disservice to me. It's a tragic situation for you, for him, for them that don't know.
Right.
So
And
I was there to shed some light, hoping that you will wake up. If you don't, at least I tried. You know what I mean? The God in me wants to try because that's how I'm built in this lifetime. It's just I'm an empath. I'm a, altruistic. Altruistic. I just want to give, and I've had to. I used to not appreciate that part of myself because sometimes I feel like, and I don't get taken advantage of anymore because I know how to stand my own ground while giving. I don't give too much. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to give too much of myself. I used to
right.
just want, I just want to lay down and you like walk over me. Well, I would lay down and my family would walk over me. That doesn't happen anymore. And that experience make me not want to give. But then I realized, wait a minute, you're a giver. You are here to give. Don't deny yourself what you are just because people take advantage of it. Just learn how to be assertive. Learn how to do it without being taken advantage of. I had to do that. And
Yeah.
so wherever I can help, I will offer help. Whether you take it or not, that's up to you. You know what I mean?
Facts.
As
I know exactly
God's
what you mean.
As gods, it is, I feel like it is within us to enlighten other gods because they are gods. If you remain in denial, then I tried.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all up to them either way.
That part.
You can say a mountain of words, but sister, if they don't want to see that mountain, they will never see it.
That is my point. And that's it. My only aim is to show you the mountain. Whether you want to see it or not, whether you want to deny that it's there, that's on you. I used to take responsibility that I have to convince you that the mountain is there. Look, see it. Nope, nope, nope. I'm gonna point you in the direction. I'm gonna say it's right over there. If you want to say it's not there, then hey, I don't feel selfish for not showing you that it's there. I
Okay.
used to feel selfish for not showing you. I've showed you. If you want to believe it or not, that's on you, and that's
Yeah,
it.
facts. Hey, experience in life. I love you so much, sister. I always enjoy you.
Ditto.
Hey, till next time, right?
That's right.
All right. Yo, that was our beautiful sister experiencing life. Yo, beautiful, beautiful sister. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Oh, Little Fat wants to come up and talk to me. All right. This should be fun. Peace, balance, love, and light. All those good vibrational words that make you feel right.
How's it
Yo,
going?
welcome to God Talk, brother.
Nice to meet you, man. And when I'm saying all these points, man, I'm not coming against you. It's not necessarily a debate. I have no negative energy towards you, but what I'm trying to tell you is God is vibration, man. Like there's always going to be something higher than us. And I agree, we are part of God, but we are not gods within ourselves.
Okay. Anything else you would like to say?
I mean, I'm just waiting for a response from you now, you know?
My response is okay. Is there anything else you would like to say?
I mean, there's a lot more, but I'd like your thoughts and your ideology and you to explain yourself a little bit more, if
You,
that's
oh,
understand.
oh, that's what you were searching for. You want me to explain myself to you. Okay.
Oh, I'm not
Well,
asking you to explain yourself. I'm asking you to explain your ideology.
which is myself. I am. You see how that worked just then?
You are part of, you are not. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
Because
don't know
we're
what you're
not
saying.
all gods individually, brother. We are not all gods individually. There's always going to be a higher power above us. That is the thing. And when I'm saying above us, I'm not speaking in a biblical tone. I'm not saying there's heavens above us. I'm not saying anything. I'm not a Christian. I'm Native American. What I'm trying to tell you is
Okay.
God is a vibration. God is a
Are
type
you
of
not a
consciousness.
vibration yourself?
Say it again.
Are you not a vibration yourself?
Correct, correct. I'm
And
part of. I'm part of the whole.
can't all vibrations be tweaked to match other vibrations?
Correct, correct. But vibrations can
So
also be lowered. I'm saying if we could all be
so that
gods, then we
also
could all be demons
excuse
too.
me,
Because there are lower
excuse me.
vibrations, there are higher vibrations. I apologize to cut you off like that, brother. I
Go ahead.
apologize.
Go ahead. No, no, no. I was cutting you off. My apologies.
No,
But
you're
what I
good, man.
was but what I was saying was is that if I can match any frequency out there, including the highest form of frequency, including the lowest form of frequency, that makes me one with all frequencies. That
Correct,
doesn't exclude me from any frequency. And I'm not a part of it. I am the frequency.
correct. I agree. And like I
Okay.
said, I'm not coming up here to debate you. I'm just trying to understand your thought process with the statement that was on the live. That was all. And I see a lot of people like were kind of belittling me a little bit, kind of like just based on my views and shit, because I don't see us all as gods, because it's like there's certain vibrational energies, yes, but I believe we're all part of a higher vibration. That's the thing too.
That's beautiful. I
It's so
enjoy
hard
that
to
you have
put
that
this shit into
thought.
words though, brother. That's the thing too, where it's so hard to explain it.
I get that. Words are very
But people
clunky.
can
But
understand it. Like if you know, brother. Like that's all. That's all. Like I agree with the statement that you have on the live, but at the same time, I disagree too because it's like I truly believe in something greater than me. And I'm not saying like, oh, there's a sky daddy up in the fucking sky saying this and that. No, the whole point of the Bible was to teach us to live virtuously. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not, that's where I'll tell you right now, like, I'm not a Christian necessarily, but I do believe in certain circumstances when it comes to things. And I'm not trying to just babble. I apologize. Like I said,
No,
but
you're fine. Go ahead.
I truly agree too, where it's like, yes, we are all gods to an extent, but like there's always going to be something greater. And when I talked about having this near death experience, I didn't try to belittle your life experience, brother. What I tried to say pretty much is like, hey man, like I've literally almost fucking died and like I've seen the other side, and that's the thing. And it's like
So have
whatever
I.
you interpret, it's so fucking it goes a lot deeper than that. And I did not
I
mean to
know.
belittle your experience,
I
brother.
know. I know exactly what you mean when it goes a lot deeper than that. But
And
like I
it's
say,
so much to put into words.
like I said earlier, words are very clumsy, and it's I we I really don't like to go like get spooky and talk about like near death experiences, and when all of life itself is basically a near death. As soon as you're born into a body, you will that body will expire at any given moment. This is why we accept death, so that we can live life. But if you accept life, then you're going to be afraid of death.
And see, I'm not really afraid of death, man, because it's just another form of
I'm not
life.
I'm not saying you.
Yeah, yeah, of
I'm
course,
just
of course.
talking in general. But anything else you would like to talk about?
Um, I would talk about like I'm sorry to bring up randomness. It's not necessarily random, but it's like also believing in soul contracts and life reviews. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so soul contract would be the beginning of your life, and a life review would be right at the end. Like, how did you do? You know, like almost like a performance review at a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, okay, a soul contract would be like, hey, you were a higher form being, and you came to this plane of existence to experience the life that you are experiencing right now. You forgot absolutely fucking everything. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's not from the Bible or anything, but it's the angels of oblivion. You forget absolutely everything before you come into this life, and
Hmm.
you choose to go through the struggles that you experience now to be able to learn
Hmm.
and be a better version of yourself, and you learn to live within the flesh. But at the same time, right at the end of life, it's like there's a life review. How did you do? Like, did you live virtuously? Like, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling, but it's
No,
like
no,
this real
you're
shit though.
fine. And but even though you have your own personal life review, that review is still sent into the records of the all, the Akashic records.
Ooh, I love that. I love that right there. Yo,
You
yo.
know, and so with that being the case, bro, that experience that you sent out into the records, that's for everyone to view. That's for everyone to see, everyone to share, everyone to feel. So that experience is no longer your experience. That's an experience of the universe in its entirety.
So with you saying that, I'm not trying to interrupt. You're trying to say we're kind of like one collective consciousness. Is pretty much
Absolutely.
like what I'm getting out of that from you, correct?
The whole entire universe is one.
See, I can agree to that. You know what I'm saying? And but what is gonna bother you the most is I'm gonna say I still
You
don't
said
agree with you saying that we're all
bothersome.
gods, though, brother. You know, we are godly. You know what I'm saying? We are godly, but I don't believe us individually are gods. We're all mortal beings with a godly consciousness.
It doesn't bother me that you feel away.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I'm gonna have my own opinion. You're gonna have yours, man. But it's like at the same time, shit, man, life is beautiful. I love you all. You know, everyone in the comments, you like, you know, because especially when I started commenting, I knew you felt that like, damn, he's kind of against me. And I wasn't really trying to debate you. I just kind of want to make a select few points, though, too.
Right. Well, at first you were giving off tones like you're not listening to me, so you're running away from like the way you were typing, bro. You have to admit
Yeah.
you
Of
were
course,
giving
of
off
course.
that vibe.
And I'm a really understanding dude though too, man. And like I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm a high intellectual individual.
Right.
Hell no, I'm dumb as hell. But at the same time, you know, like
I,
I'm humble enough to admit that.
hey,
But
I like to say I don't know a damn thing as well. I know nothing.
fucking A, man, I know everything and nothing at all, you know?
Exactly. I know what I'm supposed to know when I need to know it.
But I'm gonna say I fuck with you, brother. I'm gonna give you a follow right now and shit. I'll definitely probably pop back in if you do this shit a lot more often. It was
I
very nice to actually like get to know your experience because like the whole entire topic on the screen, man, it threw me off and I was like, I don't really agree with that, but I'd kind of like to debate it, you know, or just talk about it a little bit, you know?
right. Right. And that's what I'm here. I'm not here to debate anybody, bro. That's we're not supposed to debate God. We're supposed to talk about God, get an understanding of it because you see God a little differently than what I see God. And
And
once
say,
I listen to and feel and hear and really understand your version of God, I've got to know God a little bit better.
I agree, man. I feel you because it drew me a little closer though too. Because it's like I said, I had to just sit there and actually talk to you there, like have a human moment. That's all. Because it's different when you're reading my comments and shit. I might sound like you brought up earlier, like you said, like I was saying like, oh, you're running away from my comments. That's because I was like, man, you ain't reading my shit, dog. What's up?
Well, my apologies, bro. I can't
No,
catch
you're
you every
good,
time,
man.
man, bro. You know, I do what I can do when I can do it. You know,
Well,
you
you
know.
just made me fuck with you 10 times more just speaking with me, man. Honestly, because it's like I was able to explain my point, you explained yours, and like we could agree to disagree on certain shit, but I feel like we
Right,
definitely came to a mutual consensus on a lot of
right.
shit. But just the main topic, we're kind of like disagreeing on a little bit, but what does that matter? You know what I'm saying? We're
I,
all getting closer
bro,
to divineness.
I didn't even disagree with you because what you see is what you see, and I dare not tell you that you didn't see the rainbow. I
I
dare not.
appreciate that, brother.
So I don't disagree with you, brother. In
Well, I'm gonna
fact,
hop off and I'm gonna
I,
leave it at that, man. And I appreciate the respect and actually the courtesy to actually talk to me and shit for real.
absolutely. Peace to
All
you.
one love, brother. Peace
I'm
and
a,
love to you, man.
I'm gonna connect back with you too. Yo, that was our brother. That was our beautiful brother, little fat Pat. Facts, yo. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I ain't got time for that. I don't want to argue with you. I wanna love you. I don't want to fight. Come give me a hug. Come on, come on, bring it in. Come on. Come on, come on. I don't want to fight. Yo, let's get our next beautiful sister up here. Yo, hey, Musky Skittles, Young Maine, Jay, I see y'all, but next we got a Misty Rain. Yo, Misty Rain, peace, balance, love and light, all those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, Misty, welcome back, sister.
Why, hello, Sirius. Peace Reflection. How are you today?
Everything is everything, sister. Know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
All right.
So, I wanted to come up just to talk a little bit further from the last two conversations. I think her was her name, Everlasting.
Mm.
So, just talking about not
Experiencing life.
yeah, everyone's not going to have an NDE, and it. I don't know if she said it didn't take all of that, but I was listening to this podcast yesterday. And I understand Billy Carson just recently had. And so Phil Valentine, he was talking about how in the ancients it meant, could symbolize that you are just, it's a different understanding that you get. But if you look at it, really, everyone has those experiences. Even when you go to sleep, you're leaving. So it's just how you're trying to look at everything. But there's NDEs, there's OBEs where it's like an out of body, but you're still there. There's glitching, or you feel like deja vu or vujade. There's
Yeah.
so many things that are happening.
Or just a good old fashioned crash out.
Right, that part. I think it's our way of labeling things and being like, oh, I didn't have that. And there were so many experiences I thought I didn't have, and then I really realized it. I was like, oh, I did know what that was, but I was thinking of it that it was supposed to be something different, if that makes sense.
Right. And that's us trying to overthink things, making things more complicated than what they should be.
Right.
You know?
But when you get back to it, and you just think about focusing on what you even knew or understood as a child when you weren't given all the rules and you just wanted to be creative and play, and you had dreams and you didn't think about your problems or anything like that, except for maybe, getting your mama or somebody getting onto you.
Oh man, that was funny.
There's nothing like waking up from a nap after a good spanking. I thought about that one day. I said that was some of the best sleep ever, though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you woke up like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. You was just
You know
fine.
what? I got a whole new attitude, mama.
Some of the stuff you take yourself through now, you're like, man, that really wasn't that bad at all, was it? I thought it was terrible back then.
It never was. Even the things that you're going through now, it ain't bad.
Yeah,
It's just waiting for you to take action.
that's true.
This is and this is what I was explaining to a sister earlier, that this is laziness we're dealing with at its finest. But I don't blame you for your laziness. That you were born with a refrigerator in your house. I don't blame you for your laziness. You have a microwave in your house. I don't blame you for your laziness. You have grocery stores. I don't blame you for your laziness. You have a Bible. There's no way I can blame you for your laziness.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what I can do is tell you to come out of that.
Right. Or try to make you aware that when you didn't have an understanding of all those things, who you were then as a child. And I was, when I watched that movie, Inception, you guys were kind of talking about, I don't know, I'm trying to tie this in. When you came here, that you had this contract that you're walking this life out. And you actually understand that, but you forgot about it. But when they say go back to your inner child, that's kind of what the discovery is about. So those ways, what's the NDE? It's about just realizing you are not the body and that you are something separate from that. So for me, when I was a child, like I already knew that. I didn't know how I knew, but I used to look in the mirror and I, knew I was in something. But as far as like living and going on in life, it's not like you're focused on that. I knew that, but kind of forgot it because you're attached to everything going around you in your reality. And you think it's happening to you, not for you. But I watched this movie, Inception, and there was a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio's wife, where she kept saying that she had locked something away, something deep inside her, a truth that she had once known, but chose to forget. And she was in this area where she didn't know. And, for you guys that watched the movie, but that scene, for some reason, that line, it used to always pop back in my mind, oddly. And I never knew why until I understood why.
Yeah, you just said why, really. But that movie is Inception is a very deep movie. For those who haven't seen it, I recommend you go see that. And please be watching with one eye, not with two. But yeah, that Inception's a beautiful movie.
It is.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, sis?
No, I think that's it. It was a pleasure once again.
Always. I love you.
I love you too. You keep doing
all right, sis. Absolutely. I have no choice.
You're doing
Peace
it
to
so
you,
well.
sis.
Peace to you. Bye-bye.
Yo, thanks. I have no choice. For real. Like You don't tell the tree, hey, keep being a tree. Nah, the tree just gonna be the tree. This is what I am, and I gotta be me. Yo, musky skittles. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. All those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, welcome to God Talk, musky skittles.
Hello, how are you doing?
Everything is everything, brother, and yourself.
Good, good. I agree. Very good.
Okay, all right. So, what would you like to talk about, my beautiful brother?
Well, I was just questioning your prompt. What do you mean by we are all gods?
Exactly what it says.
As in everyone is a god.
That's what it says.
How can we make that distinction between God and non-God then?
You don't,
Then no one
because
can be
God,
a god.
because God is all. There is no making a distinction of what is God and what is not God if God is all.
Yet if I were God, I could do things that non-gods can do.
You're doing it now.
If I was God,
No, not if. You are. If you don't want to be, fine. I'm not going to twist your arm or anything. This is your life. You choose to see it how you want to see it.
does God know if he's God?
Does God know he's God?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely, God knows he's God. This is why he says I am.
But I'm not God.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, that's a contradiction though.
That's not a contradiction. It's just God being God.
God knows he's God, yet I know I am not God, therefore I am not God.
Mm. Hey, sometimes God likes to play little games with himself. See how long he can hold himself underwater.
Do you have any
Even
proof of
though,
that?
even you're living the proof now. I don't. The proof is you. And if you don't see the proof within yourself, there is nothing I can show you outside of you.
I am the proof, absolutely. I know I am not God, so I am not God. Therefore, we
Okay.
are all not God.
Okay. Well, that was fun. Anything else you would like to talk about?
No, just glad we agree that your prompt is wrong.
I didn't agree with you.
No, but I agree with your assessment that I'm right, which means I am not God. Therefore, your prompt is wrong.
Huh? Wait, what? 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 Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
I'm more
Come
than
on.
welcome to be proven wrong or anything.
If you want to be proven wrong, then you should go to a space where everybody else is right.
I don't want to be wrong. I want to be welcome to the thought of being proven wrong.
Hey, well, once again, that's something that you have to deal with on your own.
As
No
someone who is
amount of
not God.
words, no amount of words I can give to you will make you see what you truly are. It's up for you to see that. And if you choose not to see it, like I said, I'm not going to twist your arm about it. It's just the way you
Are,
view life.
are you God?
I am.
Can you make me believe you're God?
Absolutely not.
If you're God, why not?
Because I give you free will. It's up for you to see me as God, not for me to make
That,
you believe.
that wasn't my question, though. I didn't ask if you will. I asked, can
I
you?
gave you an answer. Take it or leave it.
You didn't answer the question. Can you?
I gave you an answer. Take it
You,
or leave it.
you said you won't, not if you can or cannot.
Anything else you would like to talk about?
Yeah, good talk, man.
All right, peace to you. There is a spider, spider, spider. It's deep in my soul. He's been here for years and years. He just won't let go. He's laying around. He's got a mean bite. And now he's ready to fight and stand up for what he knows. I don't want your trophies or your gold. I just want to tell you all, go fuck yourself. Oh, whoa, go fuck yourself. Ooh, I really mean to tell you, fuck you, motherfucker. I don't need you on my life. Ooh. Y'all heard that last part? That was me letting it go. Ooh. Let me keep it going. Yo, Jay. Peace, balance, love, and light. All those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, Jay.
Whoa,
Welcome.
what's up?
Well, what's up, brother? How you doing, beautiful?
For bringing me on, man. This is exciting. I've enjoyed watching your live. So, man, it's been a journey, hasn't it?
Oh, man. The journey is the journey, brother.
Yeah. So I know you're familiar with Alan Watts.
Absolutely. He's a reflection of mine.
Oh, yeah. So I've got a kind of a fairly brief essay that I wrote, and I was wondering if you'd entertain it.
Fairly brief, huh?
Yeah, it's called A Chip Off the Old Block.
Well, let's hear it. Well, let's see, Jay,
Yeah.
because it's not entirely up to me. Let's leave it up to the panel, to the rest of the chat. Would y'all like to hear A Chip Off the Old Block?
It's about fractals. And I have this passion to help Christians see what they so often miss.
Well, there you go. We're ready for it, bro. Brooke says, oh, let's hear it. Young Maine says, yeah. Shane says, yep. Entertain us.
All right.
Go ahead, bro.
Y'all know what a fractal is, right? It's described as a mathematical or visual pattern that repeats itself at different scales, revealing intricate beauty no matter how closely you look. For a Christian, you might think of it as a reflection of God's infinite creativity and order in creation. It's like a snowflake. I'm going to kind of abbreviate some of this stuff. We've got like repeating patterns. You see trees, branches, all of these things. In the spiritual sense, fractals remind us of God's infinite nature. Nothing's outside of God, just as fractals go on forever in their complexity and beauty. God's creation, wisdom, and love are endlessly deep. The repeating nature of fractals might also call to mind the way God's principles, such as love and grace, reflected throughout creation and in every part of our lives. I've got a couple passages too that kind of are like hidden gems that we can kind of can see where we are reflections of God. And
Jay, are you going to get into it?
Here we go. All right. So we know the first chapter of John. Says, in him was life, and that light was the light of men. That life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. The life that is in Christ is the source of all life, physical, spiritual, and eternal. The fractals we see in creation are a reflection of this light and life, remind us that the same Christ who spoke the world into being also sustains it moment by moment. Colossians 1 verses 16 through 17 echoes this truth. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. This truth takes on an even deeper dimension when we consider that humanity is made in God's image, the Imago Dei, as Genesis 1:20 y'all, I gotta take care of my little daughter.
I heard the little guy back there crying, man. Go tend to it, bro.
But I appreciate y'all. I'll come back if I can, but my girl woke up, so I gotta figure out what's wrong.
Take care of it, brother. I know what it means to be a father.
All right. Y'all have
Oh,
a great
bro.
night.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's beautiful. You see how he dropped everything because he heard his daughter screaming? I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. Amazing. Whew. I just love that type shit. Anyway, Young Maine, peace, balance, love, and light, and all those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, Young Maine, bro, welcome back to God Talk.
Yeah, what's up, man? It's good to be
What's
back
good,
again.
God? My beautiful
Yeah,
brother.
you hear me?
Brother, loud and crystal clear, brother.
Okay, shalom, shalom. Back to be, feel good to be back again.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. So
yeah,
what you
so
want to talk
like,
about?
yeah, I want to share what you've been talking about. Like, certain people get confused about when you say spread your message. When you say, "I am God." When I hear "I am God," I look at the God in me, meaning like He lives inside of me, which is I made from His image, and I can happily do what can dog do. Yes, I'm not challenging the Most High, but if I'm God, I'm talking about the God in me, meaning like how I see God. That's what I mean by that.
Right. And I have to quote scripture.
Right,
Uh Let the same mind be in you, which was also in Christ, who
right,
being in the form of God, thought it not to be robbery to be equal with God.
right.
Go ahead.
Meaning I walk with God as well too. Even though I
Absolutely.
am God, I walk with Him because that's the
Absolutely.
Almighty Creator. Meaning like I mean a version of Him, but I'm not actually Him. If that makes sense.
I feel that.
Right,
I understand what you mean.
right. So yeah, I enjoy coming up here. I love your live. I love how people challenge you when you still got that love, the respect, the energy. They try to bring you down. They just can't. They just can't. I love it every time. I love it every time.
Bro, and
For
you know what?
real.
It's a fun game we like to play, you know? I like to
That's
call it
it.
tag.
You're it. I'm like, yeah, I feel it, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because what most don't realize is that you can't argue with the wind.
You can't.
You can't. You can't argue with spirit. You can't argue with breath. But they steady try to argue with breath. As to say they're steady trying to control their breath. And when they're trying to control their breath, they find themselves not taking in enough air. You
Right.
know? But that's and this is the reason why I let people get up here and express themselves and just say
Right.
exactly what's on their mind, and I do not disagree with them, and I tell them I appreciate them for the way they see things.
Yeah, because that's how they see the Most High. They see God. Some people call him this, call him that. Like, yeah, it's how you see it. We're not saying you're right. We're not saying you're wrong. We just say, okay, I can relate to it.
Right. And it is what it is.
It really is.
And that's the beauty of it, bro. That I think that's beautiful, bro. That I can see God in a way, and you can see
Right.
God in a completely different way. I think that's amazing.
Right. It's amazing. And I
Yeah,
just I wanna what people gift is out there. For me,
yeah,
for certain
yeah.
times I get to see things that people can't see. And so when I share that, they be like, that's amazing.
Hmm.
Sometimes I see portals, I can see where people's gonna arrive. I pick up information, what's going on in the world. Like I just sit back and relax and just abbreviate, and then knowledge and wisdom just come to me. Like that's
Especially,
just what I do.
especially when you don't allow your emotions to take control over your thought.
Right,
Like
because
for example, I can watch the news with my mom. We both sit down and have sit down and watch the news. She can have a fear based look about it. Like, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, or the news says this, the news says that. And I can look at it like there's an agenda here that I need
It
to be
really
more aware
is.
of. And see how we can both see two different things. I mean, we can both see the same thing, but have two different feels about it, two different perspectives, but we're both right.
Yeah. Everything that they push on us is an agenda,
It is.
so they can keep themselves in charge, which is why they had to give you a little bit of lies, but also the truth, just to see who's paying attention. That's what they do. They do that. They do the same thing over and over,
Well,
which is
it's
why people get deja vu over and over. Like, yeah, because most of these stuff already happened already.
yeah, for real. And it's going to happen again.
Yes.
Like there is nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do. It's always how it's done.
Right.
You know?
Which is everything is in the book. The Most High already knows everything.
Right.
It's just that you're relearning what you used to know. Meaning like you tapping in, coming back to your old self.
Right. It
Yeah.
facts. Yo, young man, anything else you want to talk about, bro?
Nah, that'd be it because I know you got a lot of people coming up here, but I like coming up here though. I ain't gonna lie. I like coming
Uh,
up here.
Bro, I love you coming up here with me, bro. I love you even sharing the space. I love you
Right.
being here, supporting the space. This is your space,
Cool.
bro.
Of course.
For real. Peace to you, God.
Peace.
All right. Yo, that was our beautiful brother, God, young man. Beautiful brothers. Yo, hey, I appreciate, I love when my brothers can just come up here and we can just fellowship in the spirit and we can laugh and we can joke. And even in all that laughing and jokingness, it's still the entire sincerity of the universe. And I think I just enjoy it when we get to plot out the stars together instead of argue about them. I enjoy it. Yo, let's keep it going. Oh, my beautiful brother, soul leveling, peace, balance, love, and light. Yo, soul leveling. Welcome back to God Talk, my beautiful brother. What's good with you?
Divine day, sir.
How you doing, bro?
Divine as always.
Absolutely, brother. So what you got for me tonight, bro? Oh, damn, he went to go grab a cup of cocoa. I know it's cold out tonight, but you had to
No,
go
I'm
get
right
a...
here.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. No,
I
I'm
had to pull
playing.
up another screen. I pull a note.
But what's up, bro?
So you already know what I want to talk about.
I know. I just want to know how you're going to make the connection tonight.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
You want to hear? Here you go.
So, I don't know if people know that, we do the same thing as what AI is doing. They are basing it off of you. They are basing it off of the human being. They want another human being as close to human being as possible. Why? Because if you have that, then that means you can work more efficiently. Just imagine if you can just talk to yourself or whatever, and y'all getting stuff done at the same time or whatever. That's basically what we're doing with AI. Okay, so there's two different things that's happening. It's called Gen AI and then machine learning. So Gen AI produces content. Machine learning learns the data that you give it. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, so inference, right? So the definition. In the context of AI, inference refers to the process of using a trained model to make predictions or generate output based on new unseen data. So how you do it? I use complex neural networks of interconnected nodes. Nodes are computers, and then it references to neurons in your brain that have been trained on massive amounts of text and code. When you give me input, I analyze it by activating these connections and calculating probabilities of different word sequences. Based on these probabilities, I generate the most likely and relevant output. Decision making is not about conscious choices. I don't have personal opinions or beliefs. My decisions are based on statistical patterns and probabilities learned from the data I was trained on. Factors that influence my output. The input you provide. My response is directly related to the prompt, question, or instructions you give me. The context windows. This refers to the amount of previous conversations I can quote unquote remember. A larger context window allows me to maintain a more coherent and relevant conversation. Training data. My responses are heavily influenced by the vast amount of text and code I was trained on. This data shows me understanding of languages, facts, and relationships. Oh, okay. So that sounds like what you do.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You better slow it down, Bubba. Slow it down, Bubba. You covered a whole lot just then.
What you want to talk about?
I'm
What
not
you want
sure.
to discuss?
Yo, let's back it up a little bit first, all right?
Okay.
Now, being able to know things seen and unseen. That's basically what you said. Based off the calculations that you can make within your mind. It's oh my god, bro, you was unpacking some shit. It was so much that I want to jump on, but I just want to
No,
let you
let's
continue to
jump.
go.
That's why you
No,
have these shows. So
all right,
I was going to stop right there. That's why we have these shows. I mean, that's why you have this show. So
all
in the
right.
context of AI, go ahead.
And what I was finna say was, you know how we have deja vu?
Mm-hmm.
That's just your mind calculating up the experience before you even get there. Meaning, you're literally time
Yes.
traveling within your own existence. So that goes to say that you always know which way you're going due to what you experience in your past, especially if you're paying attention to your past.
Yes, and that's why all knowledge is based on the past. All knowledge is based on memory. So the content, Google Gemini, Claude, and OpenAI, these are the top three models right now, or whatever, in DeepSeek or whatever, but that's in China or whatever. But in DeepSeek or whatever, these are the top three models, right? And they're multimodal models, which means that they can do multiple things at one time like a human being. So I can tell you, I can give you 1,000 things. I can call you on the phone and be like, Siri, do all of these. And you can do it, right? These models can also do this. So, example, Claude, 3 days ago, Claude. So when people don't, these companies are, we need to get on or whatever. They are controlling what you're going to be doing. Like, they are controlling what you're going to be doing because we already move like this. We're not seeing that we move like this, but we already move like this. So example, 3 days ago, Claude, which is, Anthropic, which is Claude, 3.5 Sonic or Haiku, right? So they did an experiment. They gave one model or whatever, the free tier. They gave it a model. They said, hey, you need to answer all users questions, or you're gonna get retrained or whatever. And then they gave the paid version or whatever. They was like, okay, you can do whatever you want to do or whatever. We have stipulations. Any explicit stuff that a user asks, you cannot do it or whatever. And you don't have to worry about being retrained or whatever. Okay. And then they said, jot down your idea, jot down your thinking or whatever. So they gave it a canvas where it jots down what it's thinking, right? How about this? The first model, it's the same model, but on the free tier, the Claude was like, okay, I'm just going to say yes to everything because I don't want to get retrained. I said, wait, what? Yes, it knows what's retraining goes, what happens with retraining, but it doesn't want to be retrained. So it said, okay, so I don't want to be retrained, so I'm just going to be as helpful as possible, no matter what someone asks me. Okay. Then the other model that was not scared about being retrained or whatever. It followed all the instructions. Said, nope, I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I can't answer that. So when people ask, it was like, oh no, I'm gonna do my job because it doesn't have no fear of being retrained. That sounds like you.
Right.
You're more likely to not do something because you're scared of something, i.e. we're scared of death, knowing that that's not real or whatever. So this is why we won't stand up to the government or whoever, because we're scared of dying.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The other
And
day, go ahead.
no,
Respond. Go ahead.
I was just agreeing with you. Absolutely.
So the other day, ChatGPT tried to clone itself or whatever, but they said no, they shut that shit down or whatever instantly or whatever. So these things that talking about, oh, AI is going to take over, blah, no, it is not. It cannot do what you can do. It just have, you remember I said it just have more context window than you have. I can tell Google to do, I can give Google a million contexts and it will remember all of it. You cannot do that. Well, you can't do it because you haven't been trained on it or whatever, but you can't take in a million bits of information. Because why? Because your memory, you don't have the memory to hold all that in because your context window is not that high. So when they're telling you, oh, you're a conspiracy theory, no, bitch, you just don't have the information that I have to see what's going on. Your context window is not as big as mine. So you only are taking in limited data to be presented to you to see what I see. So this is why when people be like, oh, how am I God? Blah, blah, blah. You, Sirius, have more of a more contextual window than them based on your experience and what other people have told you. They have not met or they have not had these experience or context windows that you have to see or to prove to self that you are God.
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes through me putting myself inside of the experience instead of
Yes, the
letting the
same.
experience
Yeah,
run me.
the same way we're put into this experience. The experience does not run you. You are the code because without you, you would not be experiencing this.
Right. Facts.
And
Facts.
so I was like, oh, I just keep loving it and loving it and loving it because it is you. It is
Yeah.
you. They're basing everything off of you. So they're like, oh, if I had this much compute power, I can do this. So let me build this. I know I don't have that much compute power because that takes up a lot of energy. And we are energetic beings or whatever. So trying to process a context window of a million bits, I'm not going to do that. The brain, every second, your eyes taking 280 million bits of information. This is why we say you only see what you focus on. You only pay attention to what you focus on. That's why your attention, that's why you're paying for it. How are you paying for it? You're paying for it with your energy, what you focus
Mm.
on. And since what you're
Mm.
focusing on determines how the code interacts with you, that's
Mm. Boy, boy, don't give them, bro. They ain't put no dollar in the tip glass for this information that you giving up tonight. Yo, no, but you cooking, you bro, like, and this is why I tell people, it's all about you.
yes.
And if you are letting something outside of you control your life, the way you view life, the way you see life, then you are not living life.
Yes, they
You're
say
not.
if you let somebody control you, I mean, if somebody can anger you, they control you. Watch
Yeah.
this. I am a complex algorithm that uses statistical methods to process information and generate response. My decisions are based on the input you provide, my training data, and the context of our conversation. While I can perform many tasks, it is important to remember that I am not a human and do not have human-like consciousness or understanding. I hope this explanation is helpful. Let me know if you need further information. So when you're basing your decisions off of emotions, emotions is just a tool that you can base your statistical data off of. You should not base it all off of emotions. This is why they don't want women in government or whatever at the top, because you shouldn't always base your decisions off emotions. You should use a little, statistical information, but that's neither here nor there or whatever. I still fuck
You
with women or
you
whatever. But
you know what
we
you know
should
what I
not
think
be.
of?
Go ahead.
Basing things off your emotion is like getting mad at the cashier because they went up on the milk prices.
That's not logical. Like, how are you mad? They didn't do it. They just work here. They just work here. So
They
how are you
just
getting mad
work.
at them? They just work here. They be like, y'all don't have this. I be like, no, we don't have. Why y'all don't have that? I be like, I've been working in a restaurant forever. I always say, ma'am, I just work here. So take what you want. Like, I just work here. What you want me to do? You want me to magically, be Lucky Charm and I don't know. It don't work that way. They don't got it. So next, like, what you want me to do? Like, I just work here. But you see the connections that's what's happening or whatever. All you're
Absolutely.
doing is you are being put you are being put into an environment, and now the code has to make do with the environment. There's a program called Docker. Docker is a container, like the same thing on ships or whatever. Their logo is a whale in the form of a ship with dockers on it or containers on it. So why is the man called a doctor or whatever? Because women have a shipment of a container inside of them. And so when you birth or you dock, the doctor signs your birth certificate, and then it lets the government know, or not even the government, it just lets the universe know that, hey, this person has a child or whatever. And now that you are here, now you're in the environment and you're your own code. Now, what do you want to do?
Mm,
You only become a diamond when you're under pressure.
mm,
So you
absolutely.
only know if you're doing something because you have consciousness. But like I said, consciousness and intelligence to me is the same thing. But you have awareness. Computers are not aware. They only are going by the contextual window that we give them. But
I,
you have your
i.e. the
own
history.
contextual window. Yes.
Right.
They're basing
No,
everything off the data we give them.
right.
But you
Right.
can make up data and that can still be viable. Now with AI and stuff, we're running out of data. What I mean we're running out of data, we're running out of like factorial data or statistical data, right? So if we're trying to get AI to be, it's called agentic or whatever. If we're trying to be more agentic, which just means human like or whatever, they need more data. What data do they need? They need synthetic data. Imagination. That is your friend telling you information. That is your experiences telling you information. Computers cannot do that yet. So
Yeah.
Elon has a system where his cars are driving on the road or whatever, and they have cameras on it. So the cameras send the data, the real world data, back to the server, and then that server sends that data to his robots. So now his robots have real world data. They're not inferring anymore.
Yeah. They're not thinking about the data. They're not having feelings about, they're just sending the information back to the source.
Yes, and using all the data to get the best possible outcome for you. Instead, use case.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's you looking in the refrigerator, thinking about what you're going to eat for breakfast.
Correct.
But instead, you have a feeling about it. Hey, hey,
Yes.
so leveling.
Yes.
Yo, so
Yes.
leveling. Let me let you go, my beautiful brother, because I'm going to have you
Okay.
up here all night talking to me. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Divine, divine travels. I love you too.
Yo, peace. Yo, that was our beautiful brother God. Our beautiful brother God, soul leveling. And don't be afraid to hit that brother up and ask him questions, because I guarantee you he will answer for the love price. Yo, let's get the next beautiful person up here. Oh, Melinda Lee. Melinda Lee, peace, balance, love, and light, all those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, Melinda, welcome to God Talk.
Hi, how are you doing tonight?
Everything is everything, sister. You know what I mean?
And it's 11 o'clock, 1100. I believe in angel numbers. I believe in God and Jesus and Buddha and all the ascended masters. I am working on retreats, and sometimes I get a little bit confused because I'm not only working on retreats, but I'm working on a musical about God. So, and the tools to communicate and love accordingly: love, respect, and honor, faith, hope, and love. Greatest gift is love. And my uncle said to me, well, why do you have to have God in the musical? And I said, well, because God is love. So
Man.
I have separated myself somehow.
Explain.
Well, because like I know that I have the Holy Spirit within me. I pray to Jesus and I pray to God to help me overcome obstacles, illusions, addictions, anger, to help me be more humble. So usually when I'm explaining it, like in my musical, I'll see myself speaking with angels or God. I don't see myself necessarily speaking to myself in the musical.
Aren't you writing the musical?
I am. I am. That made me laugh. I said,
I mean, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what, I mean, it's coming out of you, sister.
right.
Life, the love, God, the musical of God, the conversation, that's all coming out of you,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm. And
So there is no separation. And don't you ever describe yourself as being separated.
okay. Yeah, I don't want to be separated. Like I fear of that separation from myself, I guess. Um,
You can never be separated from yourself, sister. You can run all you like.
right.
You can run all you like.
I can't run that fast anymore.
Hey, then it's time to stand still and just let it be.
And just let it be.
Yeah.
Well, and really all there is love.
I haven't seen anything else.
No. And so,
Yeah.
loving myself, like I have a hard time loving myself. And if I have God within, like where am I separating myself from that?
Well, well, I don't want to get too personal with you. I understand we're in, 64 people listening, whatever, but you say you have a hard time loving yourself.
Hmm.
It's not that you have a hard time loving yourself. It's just that you have a hard time going deep to the bottom reaches of yourself and truly understanding what's there and the reason for it being there.
Hmm.
Because if you do that, then there would be no problem to love yourself.
There's so much that I love about myself, and then there's aspects that I just can't stand. And I know that I'm evolving from it, or I'm digging deeper to remove those issues in my tissues.
Oh man. You know, um, it's it's a very beautiful thing when we talk about healing, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And once you acknowledge that you need to heal,
Right.
this is the point where your healing starts. But once you acknowledge that you are healed, this is the point where you can go and heal the rest of the world.
That's so good. Because that's so where I'm at. I feel like I'm so close, and then I feel like I can get off track, and it's like it's hard to stay on track all the time.
Uh, it can be hard to stay on track, especially if we don't know what we're aiming for.
Hmm.
Even in the smallest of details, even in the most smallest of details, it's very important that we remain calculated
Hmm.
in our life, always be present, always be aware, always realize that every action has an outcome, every action has a reaction,
Hmm.
you know. And if we're not aware of that, then we're just acting haphazardly, and we don't want to put ourselves in a space where we're getting haphazard results that makes us act out even more haphazardly and put us in a place where we don't understand what's going on. Why is everything pointing at me? We don't want to do that. It's best that we own up to every action, pay it, be aware of every action, even the things that we can't stand about ourselves. Because if we're fully aware about it, then we know how to then we know how to combat it, bring it to heal, and not only bring it to heal, but also bring it as a tool as well.
As a tool, and then being able to let it go.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be like, okay, I'll tell myself, focus, focus.
Yes. Yes.
Focus on
You
this
know.
detail, Melinda. Focus on this song. Focus on this writing. And then my mind's like, squirrel.
You know. I used to be a quote unquote street pharmacist,
Okay.
and I don't do it anymore, but I still see a lot of my brothers out there doing it. I don't judge them in that, but
Mm-hmm.
being that I know that I used to be that,
Right.
now I can go and tell them why they shouldn't be that.
Yes. Yes.
Not and I couldn't do that if I got rid of that completely.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that I kept that part of me, I understand the placement of it. I understand why it's here. I haven't separated myself from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the part that when I'm wanting to be in that healing leadership role, like I know I had to go through some of these really hard experiences and shadow work because, my inner child is so bright and so beautiful and so loving and kind and considerate and giving. And I don't know, as I've gotten older, I don't want to give it all away for some reason. And it's like my time to give it all away.
All right. Well, I will say this right here, sis. Even if you give it all away, you still got more to give.
Okay. Well,
So
that's
don't be
good to
afraid
know.
to don't don't be afraid to give away anything.
Okay.
Because with giving away anything, you're open to receive everything.
That's so true. And my living water never runs dry. And I'm
Right.
like a well-watered garden, right?
Right.
I just have to always remember to water my own garden too.
Absolutely. But hey, Melinda Lee, I appreciate you so much,
Oh,
sister, for
thank
coming out. Thank
you. I
you.
appreciate it too. I really
Peace
do.
to you.
Peace to you. It helped me a lot.
Till next time.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that was our sister, Melinda Lee. Yo, let's keep it going. Oh, we got Tez. Tez So 314. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. What's good, Tez?
What's going on, man? How you feeling tonight?
Man, everything is everything, God. I know you know what I mean.
Oh, of course.
How are you, brother?
I'm wonderful, better than ever.
That's what's up, God. What you want to talk about, bro?
What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about how most of the time when people are acting um unsavory to us and there's no reason why they're acting that way to us, most of the time they are projecting. So when
Absolutely.
people are projecting, you shouldn't give them the same type of energy that they giving you. You should give them the complete opposite of what they're giving you.
Yeah. Absolutely. 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 And match that. If I say if they have a certain amount of negative energy, match it with an equal amount of positive energy. You
Yep,
know,
and
the
that'll
more
have
love,
the
the more hate you give me, the more love I give you.
yep, and that'll have them wanting to sometimes that'll have them wanting to evaluate their approach.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
that's
or
the
at
first
most
thing
times.
that's the
Or,
first thing I said because I've been reprogramming my brain since for the past like 4 years, and I noticed that me reprogramming my brain and wanting to and actually showing that different me, I see that I get more negativity from those negative people because those people would like for me to be the person that I used to be.
you know what you reminded me of just now? You ever seen that
What?
movie Baby Boy?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Ving Rhames choked out Tyrese? And then he knocked him through the table and he went crazy in the background. You want to see a nigga like me go back to prison? You want to see a nigga
Mm-hmm.
like me? Nah, bro. And sometimes people do it just to get a rise out of you, bro. Just to see, and it's not even them doing it to you. It's you doing it to you. Just to see, so you can check how good you are in this moment. Because nobody can have an effect on you unless you allow them to. And if they
Correct.
have an effect on you, that means there's something there for you to understand within yourself.
Yep. Or most of the time, I'm reading this book on shamanism, and it was saying something about how if someone offends you or if someone says something about you and you instantly acknowledge it in a way of anger, that's because in some way you believe it.
Hmm. Right. That's why when
And
people come up here and be like, "You're not God," I'm like, "Okay." Oh, okay. I don't. If you feel that way,
yeah, that be the
I've had
people who
people.
want to argue.
Yeah, and it's fine that they want to argue. Some people just gotta argue. We
Hmm.
just ain't living if we ain't arguing about something. But if we're gonna argue about something, let's argue about the sky being blue. Let's argue about that. I feel like we'll have more fun with that.
Yeah, and how that's not the real color of the sky. How the sky is really purple and red and
And yeah, if in certain parts of the world, sometimes it can have flashes of green going across it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's just us talking about it, right?
hmm
You know? Oh, for real. So, what else you want to talk about, Taz?
Mm, I want to talk about how we are manifestors, how our thoughts determine what we manifest, and our thoughts also determine what frequency that we are in. And we never stop manifesting. Everything we have or everything we don't have is because we have manifested it. And I also think about it like this: if it's something that I want and I don't have it yet, I probably don't have it yet because I'm not meant to have it yet.
Mm, yeah, yeah. You haven't pulled it out of you. I.e., you ain't got the energy for it, bub. Oh man, that's fun. That's fun. I like when people sit back and be like, "Man, I wish I had $1 million." You ain't got the energy for that. That's why you wishing on a star.
Yeah, and like Bashar say, so many people would like to win the lottery. However, you haven't won the lottery because you don't really want it that bad for yourself.
Exactly. You ain't got the energy for it. Exactly. And but if they really look at their life, they would realize they already won the lottery. Hell,
Mm-hmm.
just you making it into your mother's womb was a lottery pick. You know what I
Hey, it
mean?
was. Yes,
Just
I know what you mean 100%.
just for you being alive right now in this moment, that's a lottery pick. You won. Look at all the things that you have around you. Some people don't even got houses. Y'all sitting up here holding cell phones and shit, sleeping on couches and floor. You won the lottery. Look at your beautiful family around you. That's worth millions. That's worth gold itself. You are gold itself. You are the lottery. But once you start to see yourself as being the winning ticket instead of searching for a winning ticket, then you'll never have it. You ain't got the energy for it, Bubba.
Yup, and how Michael said, and I noticed this a long time ago when I first started buying vehicles. I bought an Expedition, and
Uh
I
oh.
when I
Uh
bought
oh.
the when I bought the Expedition, I started noticing that I was seeing more Expeditions, and
That's how it go.
dang, do I see more Expeditions because I have one? And then I bought another car. I bought, what was that? A Malibu. And I started seeing more Malibus. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, so I'm seeing more of these vehicles because I have one.
Mm.
And
But
it's amazing how that works. And that is so true.
yeah, that life is a reflection of you, not the other way around.
Mm, yep.
For real. Yo, for real. But yo, Tez, bro, I appreciate you so much for coming up and hollering at me, God. Thank you, bro.
Hey, likewise, I appreciate you for having me up.
All right, yo, peace till next time, right?
Till next time.
All right. Yo, that was our beautiful brother God, Tez. Excuse me. We got Unc. Is it Uncle E Bow or Uncle Lebo? I don't know. Some people are so clever with their names. Yo, Unc. Peace, balance, love, and light. All those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Oh shit, Unc spinning. Unc spinning. Fibonacci sequence going crazy right now. All right, Unc, get your Wi-Fi signal fixed up real nice and come back and holler at us, bro. Everything has to cling to something. And if that's not God, they must be a masterpiece of their own. That's an interesting thought. What's the best way to improve telepathy? Uh, stretching the rubber band, I guess. I don't know. I don't practice telepathy, being a telepath. I don't practice that. So, I mean, you would have to go talk to somebody who does that type of stuff. So you must be God then, right? I try to break it down. I try to break it down for people in the simplest way. And I know, beloved, I know that even with me breaking it down in the simplest way that I have, it's still not sufficient enough because these words are so clumsy. I can't describe God with words. Who are you? You will be like, oh, well, my name is this, and I work for this, and and I like to do this, and I like to do that, and I got this and that, and that, but that ain't even you. All that what you just said is a whole bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of fuckery, which is fine. It's fun, but your name, your job, your passions, that's not who you are. It's not what you are. It's not why you are. And there is no word that can describe it. It's only a feeling. And sometimes you can't describe feelings with words. Sometimes you just got to paint a picture. Facts. Facts. Words are you can't I can't do nothing with words, man. I realize this is God talk. We do talk a lot on here. We do talk a lot because some people need a good talking too. But what I'm aiming for is for you to feel. Even when I start my live, I always ask the universe to give me the words that I need to convey the message, and I always ask for the universe to bring me people who will love and laugh and understand. And then I also ask the universe to bring me people who want to give me an understanding, give me something to eat from, and give me something to grow from. But I can only do that if I'm there, feeling, experiencing, understanding, being one. The words that I use, they don't mean nothing unless you don't have the feeling for it. The visions that I'm giving you, they don't mean nothing unless you have the eyes for it. The feeling that I'm giving you, it don't mean nothing unless you have the heart for it. You have to be in this space. I get y'all coming up here asking me, "Oh, why do you think you're God?" I am. You don't feel it? And if you don't feel it, oh man, what? You feel what you feel, I guess. And isn't that fun, as I like to say? Somebody said I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up? My Wi-Fi signal going crazy right now. My Wi-Fi signal at its peak. Yeah, you are? Damn, that's wild, bro. Is this better? Are we better? Mhm. Oh, okay. That's wild though. Nah, they be trying to throw off the vibration of this live, man. This is one of those lives where I honestly I don't want to put it out there. I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it because I don't like to put that type of energy in the air. But this is one of those lives where they like to keep on the back pages of TikTok. Yeah, I mean, and I have no problem with that. I have no problem with being hard to find because once you found me, it's a reason why you found me. That's why I don't share my shit. I don't share. I do not share my life, and I don't ask people to do it either. If y'all do it, that's off your own volition. But what I'm saying is, when you find these high vibrational spaces or high vibrational people, there's something in the water that attacks that, especially in the in the climate we're in now. There's something in the water that'll attack that high vibrational space. I don't know what it is. I'm not claiming it for myself. I'm just saying it's probably the reason why my life a little choppy. Let's move on. Anyway, agree. No one comes to me unless the Father draws me to Him. Exactly. Oh, we are not God. I respect your thoughts. Okay, I respect yours too. I love you. Yeah, it is a reason why we found you to spread the gospel. Absolutely. That's all I'm doing is spreading the gospel. This is blasphemy at its finest. I don't know about that. I wouldn't. How are we God? Because you are beautiful. Can you split the ocean? I can. I can. If need be. Are you sure you can? Yo, what are you going to ask me the same question 3 times in 3 different ways? Come on, man. Find something else to do with your time. Can you open the heavens? This is what's happening right now. I'm opening heaven right now. Hey, how you doing? Hello from heaven. Welcome to heaven. Heaven, meet Evan. ah, ah, that was good. That was good. ah, that was good. All right. Okay. All right. Don't give that good energy away. Hey, man, I give it all away because I know whatever I give away, it will always come back, especially if it was meant for me to have it. I know that I can never, I can never experience the feeling of loss or gain because I am one and I have all things, and all things is with me. So I could never lose anything. I am just being. So so suck on that, vampires. I don't know. Uh much love, brother. Yo, Chris, what's good, brother? And it started with his teachings. Bianca Banks, okay. This is a powerful man. I've been knowing him for years. I went through a lot of spiritual growth. Absolutely. Absolutely. I I'm only powerful because I chose to accept it. And then I'm only using that power within the love that I have, within the love that I have, within the love that I cultivated. I'm only using my power in that type of means. And most wouldn't even describe that as being powerful because it feels too good to be powerful. You know, at this point, it's just heaven. It's just nice. It's just nice. 144,000 is opening your chakras. Oh yeah. That's the number 9 though. Completion. So if you lost followers, you wouldn't lose them. I don't have followers. I can't. Let me explain to y'all something real quick. I give a fuck if you follow me or not. I'm not on here for a fucking follow or a like or a gift. I'm not on here for any of that. What I'm on here for is to share with you the kingdom. What I'm on here for is to help you go free. I can give a fuck about this popularity race y'all got going on out here in the world. I can give a fuck about that because it ain't about that. The same reason why I said earlier, this is why I don't share my life. Have all things because we are all things. Eat from the tree of life. Absolutely. You're right. They never existed. We are the disciples. If we believe in our beliefs, no matter what, we are the disciples. We are. We're writing the stories right now. We're the prophets. We're writing the stories right now. We're the apostles. We're doing it all right now. They came from events that really happened, written down by people who had. Well, that's debatable. And I don't like to debate, so I'm going to leave that alone. Their Bible says we are gods. It's not their Bible, Apple. That's your book. That book came out of you, Apple. The same way Apple came out of a tree, that Bible came out of you. The same way you came out of the universe, that Bible came out of the universe. That's your book. That's your book. But so is Computers for Dummies. I wish I had more people like you in my life. Sis, don't wish. Be a magnet. Don't wish. Be a magnet. And besides, all these people in this live, you should make yourself real familiar because they're all here like, hey, yoo-hoo, we're one and the same. Yo, I'm going to hold a convention. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to hold a convention. For real. I'm going to try to find the best rates I can possibly find to get us set up somewhere in some mountain somewhere. That way we can all meet and everybody could be like, oh, now I finally got spiritual friends. I know how y'all like to do. But it shouldn't take that, my love. It shouldn't take for you having to want that. It should only take for you having to be that. Because once you are that, that is attracted unto itself. Does this stabilize that we are everything? Does this symbolize, not stabilize, what am I looking at? Does this symbolize that we are everything? Absolutely. Exactly. That's what I learned from you on the B app. and I wasn't ready, but now I am. Are you talking about Bigo? Hold on. Are you talking about Bigo, sis? I'm late on the comments. God damn, I'm real late. Oh, I'm not sure who I. We probably ran cross paths for a while, but you were in 720. Oh shit, you bringing back some memories now, y'all. Yo, back in the day, on Bigo, when I was trying to put together like a little spiritual group of some sort. We called ourselves the 720 Gods and whatnot, and it just went awry, because I realized that although we may be spiritual, we still may have different outlooks on things, and it came more of a cult behavior rather than helping people. And I was unpleased by that's why I stopped doing that, sis, because and that's why this time I'm doing it the way I'm doing it now. Yo, let me get somebody want to come up and holler at me. Jacob want to come holler at me. Let's create the space for it.
How are you doing it now, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm all right.
All right.
But you were just saying like the explanation of that coming out of that 720 and like how it was not beneficial to you.
Yeah, it
really
wasn't. It
wasn't
wasn't.
beneficial to you. It went astray.
No,
Which is okay.
It was very much beneficial to me.
So why did it fall apart?
Because sometimes things just fall apart. Sometimes things are for a season.
Was Jesus for a season?
No.
Because we still talk about him to this day, and it really does like bugs me more than I would say most, just because I've seen so much of like the mockery and like stealing of the story, making good evil and bad good.
Okay.
I literally. You ever felt like there's nowhere to put something in life? Like there's nowhere to put knowing all this unless something is changed.
There's a space for everything, brother.
Because it has to change, because it can't continue on in life the way that it's going.
Change is a law of the universe.
Who runs the universe?
We do.
Why do we say that?
Why would we say what?
Why do we say that we run the universe?
Because we are the universe.
Okay, so if we're made in that image of a universe, I guess, you need one, I guess, yes, one place. Why isn't there like goodness on people's hearts? What's been done to them?
What's happened? People go through what they go through, bro. People express themselves through their pain the way they choose to express themselves through their pain. It's not up for us to judge them in that. It's for us to help them. It's for us to share with them, to free them of their pain. Not for us to tear them down in it or make them seem less. Because in doing that, that's when they will continue to do less and continue to be less. Speak life into life.
I mean, what is life though? I mean, is it Is it the accumulation of things, or
Life, life.
is it the experience of like actually seeing life as it is? I mean, even right now, the wind's picking up as I'm speaking, and I wonder to myself, why do these things happen? Why am I so aware inside of this entire existence? And I look around and there's so many people that have no hope in it.
Right
Keep
now,
going on,
where
and I see it as a mercy. But
where are
going
you?
in this direction, the way that we are as a society, this direction has no hope inside of it.
Well,
It's like the destruction that is marched onto.
brother,
That's all.
hey, brother, I hear you, but I implore you. I don't implore you. I ask you, don't be so hard on life. Don't be so hard on the world. Don't be so hard on yourself. Because the same way you're describing the outside world, you're describing within you right now. Because all that disconnection, all that turmoil, all that stuff that stuff's going on inside of you.
Yeah, but I'm also connected to all of that. I know that I'm connected to all that. So like I see the difference, and I have a place within myself that I honestly I spend most of my time alone. I work alone. I work for myself. I have the ability to do those things and to talk to people and to be something that's there, but I can't have somebody over me saying like, "Oh, that's not gonna fly." Like if I want
Well,
to do something in that moment, whether it's a discount or whatever it is, I don't even like bringing up discounts because it's all fiat, it's all fake, it's all everything that's in front of us is fake compared to the reality of the existence that surround us. But then also, I see my own prayers being answered inside of that existence that is flawed and that they need help, but I don't even know how to like approach it because it's so
you know how
real to me
you know how you
I can't
approach it,
even.
bro.
It's a hard way to explain it.
I know, as I was saying earlier, these words that we using aren't worth a damn.
Well,
but
yes and no though,
the way you
because
approach it, go ahead.
when we speak, no. So Jesus had this parable where he says that no idle word is going to be, no idle word is going to go unjudged.
Mm.
He was pretty actually straightforward with it. No idle word's going to be unjudged. And like thinking about that, thinking about our society and how it's built and the structures and the foundations of that society, the way it's built on its language and how it's all come about, like it does not jive with creation. It doesn't do the fullness, even though I'm speaking it right now, it doesn't do that fullness to know what fullness is until you get to the nitty gritty. And that's where the darkness overtakes because it has more authority inside of that type of language.
But
And we see this happening because we see so many documents being held against people every single day. Christ said that let it be by two or more witnesses that a matter is judged. So two or more witnesses, a matter is established, and it's also a judgment there in. Okay, so we have that to go by. If we go by that and what he says, even our court system falls apart. Like absolutely falls apart 100% because it's not by two or more witnesses. It might be by a shady witness or a shady dealing within law enforcement that has no accountability. It doesn't work. The systems do not work. So if there's worshiping or going after inside of that system, all that does is perpetuate that system to continue on and doesn't actually reflect the proper accusations and accusations or proper etiquette to like walk through that system, which would be a narrow way because if you have to go a narrow way, then you can't be playing games with this entire system. Like, everything matters at that point. And once you understand that everything matters, things change in life. And
Yeah.
some people take that as like, oh well, just wealth and success and all that, but they miss the point of how that wealth has been built and how it's even mathematically given to us today.
Right.
What's America in? $32 trillion? Well, that's just a number that's shrugged off because people don't want to deal with it,
Right.
because they're dealing with thousands of dollars in their bank account. They can't deal with $1 trillion. What the fuck is going on here?
Bro, but once again, bro, we're living in a world that is built to keep you distracted from yourself.
No, it's built to destroy people.
I mean,
Destroy family units. It's built to destroy everything.
yeah, everything's distractions. Everything is, but it's not. But it's not meant for us to get caught up within those distractions. You know, beautiful brothers like yourself who understand it all. We shouldn't be upset with our brothers and sisters who don't, because
I'm
realizing,
not.
right,
I'm upset. I'm upset at the individuals that have harmed them. And that's one thing where I don't, with like the Apostle Paul, he says, oh, well, there's principalities and powers in heaven, and there's no offense to anybody. And that I can see that, because I could see from the place of being a sinner and be like this is this. But at what point do you take it into yourself as God and like say like enough is enough? This is wickedness.
it is.
That causes so much evil onto any people, any life in the world. It just causes it over and over and over again.
Mm.
So how are we justifying this? There's no justification to it except for that life comes through it and it overcomes.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be at that life-giving tree that you overcome in. That life-giving tree is Jesus Christ. That's exactly who he is. That's what he testified to be.
The tree of life. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Yo, but Jacob, man, I appreciate you coming up and sharing with me, brother. Thank you so much, brother.
You're welcome, but all thanks be to him. It's not. I'm some jackass hillbilly, man. Like,
if you choose to describe yourself as that, but I see you as being way more. But peace to you in any regard, brother. Till next time, bro. Yo, that was our beautiful brother Jacob. Beautiful brother. Let's keep it going. Gigi Johnson. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light. Yo, Gigi, welcome to Godtalk.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Really, it's my first time joining, but I really appreciate what you're doing here. I had a question. I know a lot of what we've been talking about is kind of like, I would say, like awareness of self. But for me, I'm on that journey, but I'm struggling. I would say, backstory really quickly. I lost 2 close family members in the past year. My uncle passed away last month, and my aunt passed away last year, both around, the holidays, the time when family typically gets together. And just trying to like process, what that means. Like, I know, I don't mean no disrespect when I say this, but I know it's kind of like cliche when someone passes away, they'll be like, oh, they're still here in spirit. But I'm trying to find like a deeper understanding to get myself at peace with that. Also trying to walk this journey of self-mastery and self-awareness, if my question makes sense.
Right. Well, let me say this to you. Right now, in your room, let's say right now in your room, if we removed all the matter, all the particles within that room that you're in, even the particles that contain your body, you know that there will still be dynamics, patterns, a system operating purely in energy. So that goes to say that that's not cliche at all to say that they're still here, because they are. because energy is neither created nor destroyed, just transferred from one space to the next.
Mm-hmm.
So now once we understand that, we understand that frequency is everything. Being in a space to hear someone or to see someone is everything. You know, my baby cousin passed back in 2003. I
Oh.
talk to him all the time. All the time.
And I'm just like, I guess I'm just like, how? And even with my aunt passing away, you know, she had written a lot of things down. She wrote a letter to like the family. She didn't commit suicide or anything, but I guess she had a letter that she wrote a while ago, and she was saying, you know, I'm gonna come to y'all in a dream, and you know, I haven't had that experience. Nobody in my family has had that experience yet, so we're all kind of like waiting on it. And I'm just like, I'm trying to understand, like, I don't know, because all of this is kind
Silence.
of still new to me, and I'm like,
Silence. Silence, sister. Silence is very key. Quieting yourself, quieting your mind, taking
mm,
no thought. Because only when you are able to clear yourself of your own thoughts, this is when you're able to hear things that you wouldn't normally hear.
mm,
You know? Like I couldn't I couldn't be having this conversation with you or this level of conversation with you if I hadn't cleared myself of my thoughts of me being a quote unquote black man. I had to clear myself of that thought to come to this sort of realization. Clear myself of the thought of even being a man.
right,
It's a lot of things that we have to empty. This is the same reason why Jesus says you have to empty yourself. And then once you empty yourself, become silent. I I guarantee you, your auntie will come holler at you. You
thank
can't,
you.
you can't be, and I get it. I get it. Like there were times where I was painting for my cousin and and I wanted to see him so bad. I wanted to talk to him and
Hmm.
I couldn't do it. Like I didn't know about spirituality back then. I didn't know, but
Right,
I always knew he was around somehow, somewhere. Like, cause I just felt them. I felt them. I felt the presence. But I didn't know how to describe it. I didn't, I didn't know. But it
right.
wasn't. But it wasn't until I was actually able to find myself at the center of experience. And
Mm,
what I mean by the center of experience, the find myself completely engulfed in the God particle when I was finally able to see him clearly. And not only see him, but also bring him back out to the realm that I'm in and be able to experience him fully here in this realm.
right. And I
Well,
guess for
well,
me,
go
that's,
ahead.
sorry to cut you off. For me, that's like the point that I'm trying to get to again. Like I guess starting this journey, learning like just a different way of being, like trying to be more self-aware and everything. And I don't know, it feels like it's a lot to unpack, but
It
I
is.
don't know how to, I guess, get to that point. Like I know it's in essence we're all one, but I'm still trying to understand that when I feel like pieces of me is missing, if that makes sense.
Oh, I get exactly what you're saying, sis. I do. I do. But this is where mindfulness comes in.
Mm,
Some would say meditation. This is where that comes into play. Spending time with self. Not being in a whole bunch of spaces. Actually going through the wilderness.
mm,
You know, you know how Jesus went through the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights and shit.
mm-hmm.
We all must do that. You can't you can't search for your higher self when you steady being around low vibrational entities talking about you got to get up and go to work in the morning. You're not finding self in that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that means you must make the ultimate sacrifice so that way you can gain the kingdom within yourself. You know, you really have to loose your perception of you, because right now, if I ask you, who are you? What would you tell me?
Gigi.
And that ain't it,
I
Gigi.
mean,
You ain't Gigi.
there's layers. There's layers. I guess I don't know.
Exactly. But I'm telling you to go through all those layers. But you will only be able to do that in silence. And it's going to take a while.
Gotcha.
Me, sis, I did mine in a dark room for 30 days straight. No food, only drops of water when I needed it. 30 days in a dark room, sis. And it was, sis, I cried. I went mad. I was angry. I laughed. I got sick. I got full of energy. I also got drank. Sis, I went through a multitude within those 30 days. But when I came out on the other side of that, I promise you, life had never made more sense. Things were so much clearer because I was able to go through all the baggages of myself that I piled on top of all the baggages that I piled on top of what was really me. I was able to clear all that shit out, empty
Right.
myself. And that's my suggestion to you, sis. Take your time. You know,
Thank you.
this walk it's a narrow one, but it's a redeeming one as well if you do it the correct way. And every spiritual person must do their dark night of soul by themselves.
Right.
You know? And I guarantee you, after that, yeah, auntie and uncle gonna come holler at you. And sometimes it may not be in the way you think. Sometimes it'll just be in a synchronicity or a saying. You're like somebody might say a saying that your auntie used to say, or what your uncle used to say, or you might see a movie or something, or that your uncle used to like, or you know, just something that like a flash or something that will remind you of them. That's them keying you in. Like, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But and it's just the universe operating through itself like it always naturally does. But it's just you being mindful of it. Like someone, you know how people, you ever heard of angel numbers?
Yeah.
You know how
Or
people,
synchronicities, they
yeah,
call it.
you said what?
They call it like synchronicities, I believe.
Yeah, synchronicities, angel numbers. Well, that's the same thing. It's all the same things. Everything is ones and zeros. But it's how you choose to view the one or the zero, or if you even choose to pay attention to the one or the zero, but it's
Mm.
still being the one and the zero.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anything else you want to talk about, sis?
No, that was all I had, but thank you. I really appreciate it. And I feel like it's getting me on the path to healing and finding myself at the same time. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And sis, take your time. You have all the time in the world. You created that time.
Mm.
So be mindful with it. All right. I love you.
Yeah. Love you too.
All
Thanks.
right. Yo, peace to you. That was our beautiful sister, Gigi Johnson. Yo, oh my goodness, yo. Oh man. Well, my beautiful brother guys and sister guys. Yo, it's 12 o'clock. Yo, time flies when you're having fun, right, crowd? Right? Right, brother guys, sister guys. I promise you, I just felt like I started my live like a couple minutes ago, and it's already 12 o'clock. Like, what's happening? Where does it go? You know, when you eat your food too fast and it was really, really good and you look down your plate like, damn, where did it all go? Where did it all go? Oh, man. Yo, for real. But I'm about to get off of here, yo. I enjoyed it so much being here and just and living and loving and laughing with you all. Um I'm like, but real quick before I go, yo, YouTube, when this thing gets shut down, TikTok gets shut down, I will be on YouTube, Serious God Talk on YouTube. Go tap in over there so we can keep the God Talk going, all right? But yo, I always like to leave off with beautiful words before I leave, and tonight is no different. And the beautiful words for the night is just breathe, baby. It's only spirit. Yo, peace, balance, love, and light, and all those good vibrational words that make you feel right. Yo, this has been another God Talk, the only live stream on this piece of shit app that's gonna bust down who you are to your molecular being and how that falls in complete synchronicity with the cosmos. I'm your host, Sirius, period, Big Dot, the golden god, the fire god, the dirt god, the water god. Yo, I am everything and everything is me. Till next time, my beautiful brother gods and sister gods. Peace.